Welcome, one and all, to another episode of the BLT podcast. I am Micoy, joining as well as always,
PokeArt 2004.
and introducing. Hey, we actually got musical attachment here because we got ourselves a K-pop group ready and willing.
Uh,
Introducing our special guest.
uh,
Hello, this is Fluore, and my voice is really groggy because I'm recording at 8 a.m.
Most people would actually have a lively voice at 8 a.m. Right? Right?
no, I
You
wouldn't.
You both just have bad sleep schedules. That's why.
Well, yes, but maybe we're also both not morning people.
Boo. Anyway, last time we covered week 4 predicts. Oh no, week 4. No, week 5. You say it.
We covered week 4 last week and predicted for week 5.
And today we covering week 5 recap, week 6 predicts, because we're actually getting into the tail end of BLT a round robin style, and we're almost to playoffs, people. And I got 2 iron bundles with me, and I'm just me. So let's get into the matches, shall we?
Okay.
First off, we got SVOU. Trogba losing to Sylveon Use Calm Mind. Sylveon getting a 5-0. Is he 5-0?
Yeah, as of then, yes.
Good for Sylveon to be able to keep consistency like that. Like, I am pretty sure no one has ever gone this well. I'm BSing here. There are definitely some people who are definitely 5-0 in the previous past, but Sylveon's just one of them. Sylveon's just the newest part of this. So this game was actually very interesting to watch because Sylveon started out the game with his Mew being decently well, using the Reflect to tank physical hits from the first get go, and then setting up Light Screen later. Chocolate did have the advantage later on with King Gambit, and King Gambit and Zapdos actually part in most of the taking apart most of the notable threats in uh Sylveon's team, particularly the Moltres and the Iron Valiant, with Sneasler getting paralyzed, crippling the Sylveon hard, and then Volcarona getting toxic later on. So Trogba actually had a little bit more consistent play in the beginning parts of this game, right? Would you guys agree that Trogba actually did play well in the beginning of this game? He played.
He cut out again. He played decently. Wasn't like outstanding, nothing mind blowing, but he played fine.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Azumarill did came in clutch later. It was a pretty okay game, nothing too fancy. Until Sylvia, Trogba did have the advantage like for most of this. Until Sylveon did have that clutch play with Azumarill. You guys should be pretty familiar with what I'm talking about. The bulldoze clutch.
Yep, the belly drum bulldoze Azumarill, which OKO'd X.
I don't know why Trogba, after out predicting so much of this game, I don't know why he went not for Haze against Azumarill.
Well, if I had to guess, it's because he didn't expect it to be a bulldoze. Like, if it's just like running Aquajet, Play Rough, and whatever the hell else, then Pex should feel pretty safe, especially because I think that was a physically defensive Pex because there was
Yeah,
a Clodsire, and that's usually the special wall.
yeah.
So
But
he probably didn't feel threatened and just felt toxicing was safe.
Mm.
Unfortunately, it was not.
And I think he was looking out for ban too, maybe. Either way,
Yeah,
I think
that
Hayes was
that
the
too.
safer play.
Yeah, but still, any against Azumarill, especially when Azumarill comes in this late into the game, you'd have a pretty 50-50 idea on what it would bring. Either it would be Banded or it would be Belly Drum, and Belly Drum Azumarill is more common, so doing Haze in this case would make more sense than just going for a Toxic straight up.
To be fair, I'm guessing he just didn't think to do that. Because, again, most Azumarill do not run Bulldoze, so Pex did not feel threatened. Also, he
Uh,
wasn't sure if it was Banded or if it was Belly Drum, so he probably didn't think to do it immediately.
the ideal play would have been Haze Toxic Recover and just recover stall.
Yes, but not everyone's gonna think to haze in this situation.
Rip. Thinking ahead in games would always thinking ahead in games is always a good sign, guys. Just a pro tip from a not good player. Anyway, uh, next
Micoy, come on.
next up we got
You don't do that.
next up SVOU. Oh yeah, forgot to mention the Flame Singer third Skeletor just losing to the Resort City Rufflets. So Rufflets are going on the up and up while the Dirges they're starting to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, they'll struggle this week, guarantee it.
All right. Next up, we got My Java versus ACR1. My Java taking his first loss to ACR1. How did this happen? Well, My Java actually looked kind of the stronger player in this case. Getting Zapdos too low by Tinglu's Ruination and out predicting ACR1's Mons using Garganical. And then towards the second half, it was ACR1 who then picked up the pace and using Goldango to crit kill Terra Water Garganical, Terra Water Slowking Galar to kill the Great Tusk. And Slowking actually did a lot of damage in this one. Um, even using Court Change to switch spikes to rocks with his side, which looked to be very effective, especially towards that endgame.
Um, what happened in this game again?
I
Oh
said,
yeah,
I did just say
I
Terra
think
Water Slowking.
I think you summarized it well.
Game was good. Game was
I'm
absolutely.
guessing that Thunderbolt crit mattered.
You think?
I don't know how much damage it does, so I assume it mattered. But
And again,
let's see, how much was it boosted? Oh, it was at +2. Are we sure that mattered?
no, I don't think it mattered. I just said crit kill, and not specifically mentioning what if it mattered or not.
Well, I have no idea, honestly.
So we
No
could
idea if it mattered.
well, we could run the calcs and see. We could run the calcs later to see if it really mattered, but no, for me, not really. Just really wasn't the case. But yeah, ACR1 played very well.
I'm guessing it might have.
Yeah, ACR1 played very well, and Java didn't look too good, especially in the second half. But hey, he still carried to a decent enough game. All right,
I
next,
think he was a little outmatched.
really.
The MU looked a little. I think there was just more. Now I don't know how to explain it. I just think ACR1 had a bit of a better matchup. Maybe it's a neutral matchup, but I don't know. It just seemed to be more favorable for him.
Mm, okay, fair enough. Next up, SV Ubers Fogbound Lake versus FC, where Fogbound Lake actually picked up the win. I'd say he had more impressive.
Yeah, to everyone's surprise this week, because no one predicted that for predictions,
Yeah, I did say,
except Sublime, apparently.
I did say this would have been a highlight match if Fogbound Lake just had a more impressive showing, which he didn't do bad. He just wasn't the best Fogbound Lake could ever do against a top level Uber Spain and FC. But yeah, he did pretty well here in this matchup. First of all, FC's Terra Grass Rest Talk Kyogre did feel like a waste at times. Only just to really there to stand up against Groudon, but useless against everything else.
Yeah, this was not a team that was great for Kyogre to actually deal monstrous damage.
Not really, no. Clodsire getting crit O-code thanks to Psychic Fangs by Salcian was unfortunate, but it was expected, as Clodsire doesn't really take physical bulks all that well. Arceus Steel should have been really more utilized better against Toxapex. Maybe try to hit Thunders while in the rain. Well,
Maybe,
like maybe have Kyogre
but there's a Groudon in the back.
yeah. The only problem would be really Groudon, but you have Kyogre to take care of that. Have Kyogre to set up rain. Have Arceus Steel out there, hit the Thunder on the Toxapex, and if you're Groudon worried, just switch into Kyogre.
Also, Koraidon kind of walls Kyogre too.
Which is unfortunate. It is, especially after Terra Grass. In Kyogre, what does Kyogre really need against Koraidon at this point? Ice Beam?
Ice Beam.
Yeah. Overall, yeah, nothing much else to say. Like, Fogbound Lake just had a more impressive showing. Really using Arceus to really pressurize FC's Mons and just having Toxapex and Groudon around enabled him to play consistently against FC's Mons. It was just a very impressive showing. I'm just legitimately surprised and happy. Not for predictions, but just for the play itself. Next up, we have Just Drew versus Udon Girl in UU. This one, oh yeah, just also add to that. These games were long. These games went longer than most weeks in BLT so far. Like the games, it's
UU games?
no some UU games, but I'm just saying generally some of these games took longer for than most weeks.
I think our UU game was the longest last week.
And
The
that already
longest
beats
game of all, I mean.
and that's the bar to set. If you want long ass games, last week's game should really prove that. We'll talk about that. All right. Drew versus Udon. Both sides actually started off pretty well. Drew managing to get rid of Decidueye early for the advantage, so his momentum is clearly on that side a lot. Although Udon Girl was not falling behind, Udon Girl was actually playing consistently a lot, and Drew just having Drew just having a good rival for Udon Girl to have. Um, Udon seemed to have the win locked after Lucario defeated both Scizor and Gardevoir, which were major threats to her team, and even Terra Normal for massive extreme speed damage. But the real problem here was Hippowdon, because that managing to remain healthy, Drew getting some lucky Stone Edge and Earthquake plays, that was enough for him to take the W.
Basically, Udon Girl could not kill Hippowdon.
Or any further thoughts?
I already said.
Fluore should have had something for Hippo. Otherwise, I don't really have anything to say. I mean, there was the grass mon, but I feel like Drew knew what to use better, especially in SV.
Yeah. Drew's been kind of the patron saint of doing this in UU a lot, especially for BLT, because he's been doing impressively in UU.
Yeah, uh, I guess a good reason why Drew won was because, like you said, he got rid of Decidueye early, which is probably what Udon Girl needed to beat Hippowdon.
I think that's the only. Yeah, that might be the only way he can deal with Hippowdon, and just having that the safety blanket, and just attacking it early, not a really good sign.
To be fair, like, I don't think I would have expected Toxtricity to have Hex either. So I think that
Yeah, that was a very weird set.
Toxic plus
yeah, I think
X.
And
that
thank
caught
you for
Udon
reminding me.
off a lot.
Yeah, I almost forgot the Toxic plus X Hex strategy that Drew brought has worked wonders to his advantage. All right.
Yep, the reason Udon Girl lost the Decidueye early was to a toxic hex toxicity.
I
How
like
many times have you ever seen that?
I
I
like
sure
that.
haven't.
I like that. I like that. Get on that, builders. All right. Next up, this one, best game of the week, hands down. Michael Derbest versus Plosh in RU. This was the game of.
Yeah, I agree. This is a great game.
This is the game of the week. RU games have been consistently good, and this one was one of the main reasons why you should tune into RU, especially for great games in BLT. Plus, because Plus actually like proved the stronger for like the first 20 or 30 sort of turns. Plus looked like he can beat Michael. Like, no joke.
Yeah, you see, it came down to it came. Well, Plaus was at 6, and Michael was down by 3,
Yeah, for the
which is a pretty bad position. Most would think.
hmm. Terra. First of all, Terra Steel Tatsugiri was there. As you can see here, Terra Steel Tatsugiri bringing that proved massively to good use. Dealing massive damage to Draco. Dealing massive Draco meteor damage to Primeape. Brushing off the low kick Grafii. To do heavy slam at one point, and then even critting Altaria for a safe kill. Like, those are just some of the inkling moments that Plus did to really take advantage of Michael's team in the beginning.
However,
However,
I like how Micoy reacted when he was watching this. Like he's like, "Whoa, is Plas gonna?" He didn't
yeah,
know who won yet, so
I didn't know one yet, so I was watching this game with fresh eyes, and I'm like, "Whoa, is Plus winning?" And then,
and I'm just like, "Oh, oh, he's down, but is he out?"
but then came the surprise, which hopefully I can show you guys in the next couple of clicks here. There it is. Terra Dark Vaporeon came in. What?
Yep, it was to tank Leaf Storm from Rotamo and revenge kill it with Ice Beam.
Crazy to think that Michael actually built for that kind of set, which is very, very unusual, but also very cool. Just a very cool thing to bring. Michael turned their game
I don't
around.
know what the normal
Hmm?
I don't know what the normal Terra is for Vaporeon,
Ghost.
but obviously it would be something that isn't weak to grass or electric.
Ghost, I would say, is the most common for vapes. But yeah,
Interesting.
it was good, and the fact that it kept tanking hits to Crocodile before that, and then Mudstill living off the flare bits to kill the Arcanine, standing up to D-Dance Brave Bird Altaria for earthquake damage. Michael
as
turning,
well as Heavy Slam.
yeah, Michael,
Remember, the Mudstill was Heavy Slam.
right, that too. So yeah, Michael turned the game around. Overall, just a very strong game by both players. Plus, should not be unhappy in defeat. Yeah, unhappy because because his team won, first of all, and two, it's just the fact that his game went so well. He looked very strong in defeat.
Yeah, but basically, uh, Vaporeon was unbreakable.
Yeah, like a diamond. So he won that the prize. Very good game. Overall, very good game. I'm very happy about that one. Next up,
Yeah,
NU.
Michael had a very bulky yet hard hitting team.
Next up, NU. Stitch, this may be up your alley because you played NU this week. Um, Talkie versus Piyush.
Oh,
This game, Piyush brought a pretty standard bulky team. Talkie brought kind of stally NU. Like I've never seen Crocolore. First of all, I've never seen Crocolore in NU. And
Yeah, that's not common.
Muck too. If I'm being honest, Muck too. Overall, just a
No,
very,
Muck's more common.
yeah, but Piyush is like the common mons in this new post home Gen 9 Pokemon on NU tier. Chansey did so well in this match, I would say. Which Chansey though? The one with Calm Mind. Was it this one? Was it this game that had the Calm Mind Chansey?
I think so, yes.
Anyway, Chansey managed to. Well, okay. I'm talking about Piyush's Chansey here in my notes because it was using well to outplay Hetrem and then just standing up to Drift Blim very well. It's a Chansey, duh. Piyush.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Overall though, Piyush handled his Sneasler well, really only saving it for real offensive pressure against Togki, who kind of struggled to play around it for the most of this game. That's what I noticed. What about you guys?
I get the feeling that Crocolore was for Sneasel.
Hmm?
Did you hear what I said?
What
yep.
did you say? What
I
did
did not watch this game live, so
what did
uh,
you?
having used Sneasel, huh?
Go ahead, Stitch. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Having used Sneasel myself, I think it's a really good offensive mon, and I think just having Sneasel helped a lot against Toki here.
Right. Especially since Sneasler did have a kind of a, well, I wouldn't say good matchup, just good offensive pressure, as you said. Okay, what did you say about it, the Crocolore?
I was saying that I think the Crocolore was for the Sneasel.
Maybe. Then again, is it that defensively bulky to stand up to at least Sneasel attacks?
It has Unaware.
Well, that, but I don't. Did Piyush reveal Sword Stance?
Uh, uh, Even if he didn't, I don't recall, but a fair amount of them do run it.
Right. So I guess that would be the issue, but overall, Pierce just played better. Oh, nothing much else to say. Just Pierce just played better, which is damn convincing considering what their records have been in the past weeks. Toki, you would think Toki would do well and Pierce would do mid, but no, this game proves it around. Anything can happen. Next up is SVPU, T-Lanet versus Tenebrisite, a matchup that I really wanted to see until they both dead gamed.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna hopefully we'll see a rematch of this in when we get to semis. I just really hope this gets played again. Or this gets matched up again so they can play. Anyway, SVLC. The rematch. Hacker versus Greedy. Same results. So this game had, I believe, yes, okay. This one had had a set that you may the set that you may be able to see in the next couple of weeks in BLT. Ice Spinner Marini,
Oh yeah, the Ice Spinner Marini.
which was really
Yeah, maybe I don't play enough LC, but yeah, that surprised me a little.
and the fact that it works so well with Marini just proves it even more as it killed Toad Squirrel first and foremost, which really set the ball on what this game ultimately became. Hackers Voltor Bisui winning the speed tie against Greedies twice, which was a little unfortunate for Greedies, but it's a speed tie. In the end, though, Nimble getting ended up getting parried thanks to static. Hacker had the end game done afterwards, using Terra Fighting Gothi to beat it, and Marini with Psychic. Overall, just a pretty smooth game from both players, I think. Smooth game with a ton of hacks.
Yeah.
Not a lot of hacks, just a good play. Just some hacks, but riddled between two good players.
Hmm.
Next up, SV doubles. I'm pretty sure we're all fans of SV doubles at this point. Sanjay versus Aragon. It's pretty short and a pretty short game, honestly. Which Aragon kind of dominated this match, using Urshifu very well to keep the surging striking all of Sanjay's bonds. Sanjay just kept sacking his bonds, failing to really pick up any momentum at all, while Aragon just kind of played better. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Although it was amazing to see the Hoopa Unbound first being used in SV doubles, which I hope that's a staple in both VGC and in this, in where Hoopa Unbound can actually be a pretty effective mon to use, especially against a pretty flutter heavy main meta.
Yeah, that did like 90 or something to the Terra Fairy Flutter main,
Mm-hmm. It was very good.
right?
It did very big. It did 90 to flutter main.
Terra Fairy Flutter main, which means it wasn't very effective and it still did 90.
It's really good. Hoopa Unbound. Yeah, nothing much else to say. Just Aragon played better. Next up, Seru versus TDR. Now, this game was a very interesting sort of game. This was water versus flying. Seru kind of looked strong in the early parts of this game. Him using Barraskewda for its swift swimming capabilities having eject button Toxapex for a free pivot, even kind of an oddball set like Basculegion Ice Beam performed kind of decently. Although with the last respects ban, I would say Special Basculin or Basculegion would see some usage, I guess, in Monotype. I hope Monotype people would comment me on that.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing it more. Special Basculegion's not as uncommon as you might think.
Yeah, Monotype people, like, leave your thoughts here because I really want to know how good Basculegion can become in Monotype, especially. Uh, Corviknight did stood up to Greninja's Ice Beams pretty well, being specifically specially bulky for it, uh, which is, as you can say for a Corviknight, it's not really that surprising considering it's a Corviknight and that could take special hits well, but just standing up to Protean Greninja's Ice Beams, just a good, just a good sign. And TDR just got to set up a clean Dragon Dance, proceeded to sweep until hit by Confusion at one point in the end game, but Lando Scarf did end up outspeeding Greninja for that win.
Yep. So, while I did think that there were times where Saru could have played better or a bit differently, I think TDR still won the game because, yeah, the Scarf Lando.
Scarf Lando just ultimately was better. Anyway, that was the end for that set. And now it's time for you to. Since the reason I brought two bundles in is just because they're about to talk about this next game more, on this next set more, I mean. Because the Iron Bundles actually lost to the Dressrosa Dracovishes. What happened?
Don't
Oh,
rub it
I did
in.
my best.
You did your best, Stitch, and hopefully you do your best next this week, PokeArt. Because spoiler, she might be in a match soon. Not soon, but in a game. Uh,
Yeah.
First off, though, in this thing, this absolute walloping. First, the SVOU, we got Shaitanya versus Clean. No, this one was one of the last games played, at least in your set, and this one had a really good team against a really good team. Can you guess from the sarcasm that these two brought really good teams? It's a freaking mirror match. That's what it is. Look at this. And it's not even a
Yep.
sample. It's not even a sample, according to the OU people in the chat.
Just a well known team, I think.
There are a couple of moments, I guess, as that really happened in this game. First of all, the Urshifu willingly getting paralyzed by Zapdos. Not a good play by Clean, to be honest, because, like, going Urshifu against a Zapdos isn't really the most ideal play.
I will say this. Chait did the same thing maybe a couple times.
But, hmm?
We just were lucky and never got parried.
Yeah, and Chade showing us how to really do it in how to really capitalize with Surging Strikes Urshifu against the Zapdos in turn 23 when it got the kill off of it.
And still didn't get parried, right?
Still didn't get parried. Still didn't get parried. And yeah, this was Chate's first win, by the way, in a BLT. And suffice it to say that he actually did well. Um, Continuously getting the advantage and outplaying Clean for the most part, especially towards the end. It was a very slow paced game. Watching the game was very slow paced, but overall, it's nice to see Chate do well for once in OU, in a post meta tier OU. And yeah,
Yep. Glad to finally see our manager pick up a win.
do well. More like do well. Do well in a game. Anyway, next up, SVOU, One Last Kiss versus Sword Strike. Now, what the hell happened? Things didn't get according to plan, especially from the way I built up One Last Kiss, and it lost to Sword Strike. Well, well, let's see what happens, shall we? First off, I really am curious of this build though, because Hydreigon brought Stealth Rock.
Yeah, I can't say I knew it got that.
How the did Hydreigon get Stealth Rock in Gen 9? I really am curious on that one. Um, Terran Ground Chien Pao looked interesting. And One Last Kiss aside, and would certainly have gotten the 2-hit KO if Garganackle over here didn't Terra Fairy. Especially with that Ice Shard. Um, there were a couple of moments in this game that hit hard. First of all, One Last Kiss that were kind of determined by hacks. One Last Kiss getting pretty lucky burns on the Chien Pao and Dragonite with Volcarona, which was your
True.
which was your only hope spot. But in the end, this is from my personal viewpoint. That One Last Kiss's endgame did not go well. It kind of sucked, to be honest. He should have focused on pressurizing Sword Strike with Urshifu and Volcarona. Instead, letting his mons cripple out with low health, and Chien Pao just being around proved to be a nasty, nasty L. Also, Dragonite, of course. Dragonite with Dragon Dance and E-speeding. Yeah, that was also a major factor. But yeah, this end game kind of sucked. Any other thoughts, guys?
I was
Um,
personally wondering if it changed anything to keep Dragapult alive.
Stitch?
for me, this happened while I was asleep, and I woke up to our team losing, so I don't really want to think about this one.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
never good when you wake up to a loss.
Yeah, and yeah, just to touch on that, PokeArt, yes, I don't know if it would change things if One Last Kiss still got the Dragapult, kept it in and gone for kills there, but yeah, it was just a disappointing game to end the week. Sword Strike picking up a win that One Last Kiss should have deserved a lot. Next up, we got Layson versus Ainscrad in SV Ubers. Okay, this game. You never thought that Skeledirge would be the MVP now, would you?
Nope, not in Ubers.
Especially because its role in the game was just La Primera Burno because it burned half of Layson's physical attackers, standing up to them as well with its defensive bulk for the kill. Lando T, Calyrex Ice, Zacian all got burned, and ultimately fell crust to Ainscrad's team. And yeah, I think the rest of this game was just Ainscrad outclassing Layson to almost. Layson played more passively than most previous weeks I noticed, while Ainscrad just outpredicted quite nicely for a lot of these turns. Possibly having the better matchup of the two, but I'm not an Ubers player, so I'm not quick to judge.
Yeah, see, Clodsire plus Clodsire plus Skeledirge was very hard to break.
Especially when you're bringing offensive mons such as Koraidon and Miraidon and Arceus and Zacian, and you're just gonna fell by two Pokemon that are not even classified as Ubers, but do very well in Ubers.
Well, those two Pokemon counter a lot of the ones you just listed quite well.
That's why Inscribe picked up a solid win over Elysium. Next up is TMM versus Shiba. This one was long.
Long.
130 turns, I want to say.
I think, well, let me look at how many turns it was.
I want to guess. That's my estimate. 113.
It was 179.
Oh, I was way off. Way off.
Yeah, I simply went to go to turn 180 because I figured it was less than that, but probably near that. Yeah, okay, I was pretty close. 179.
You're one turn away. Oh, yeah. Most of this game, I'm not going to go into detail in this game because this one is just a long slugfest. I like long games, but this kind of long can break a man, okay? TMN finally got a win by killing Terra Ghost, Talonflame with Tinkaton, all that much. But the matchup started to really get to TMM once, Hariyama came in, um, as well as Screamtail just uh, protect Dazzling Gleam Encore, taking care of most of these mods. Like, you can take out Chestnut,
What?
Tyranitar,
What do you
Flamigo.
mean protect dazzling?
I mean, the Screamtail set.
Oh, yeah, I guess it did have that, but Wish! Wish was extremely. Wish was also pretty bad here.
It was pretty bulky, and it and poor Krako Jacko here was not able to really counteract sort of Mons. Yeah, he had slow bro, but that's really all against a pretty vanilla weak team to Big Sean's team. Really, slow bro was his only tank. Uh, not really very much used to offensive pressure. Shiba had very healthy mons towards the end of the late game, and so yeah, this was just a slow, miserable watch, a slow, miserable torture for TMM. Shiba picking up a solid win.
Yeah, thing is, this was not a good matchup for TMM.
It's unfortunate because his team was good, but just not good against Shiba. Next up, one of the major surprises of
Screamtail plus. Hey, hey, hey,
go go
hey.
go 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 go
I,
go.
s- I was. Screamtail plus Hariyama was pretty good into TMM's team, if that wasn't apparent.
Yes.
Surprisingly, more so the Screamtail.
Yeah, I like I touched on. Screamtail just matched up well against Chestnut, Tyranitar, Flamigo. The Wish certainly didn't help as well.
Yeah, that kept a lot of Shiva's Mons healthy,
Eh,
which ultimately helped him outstall because we did not have nearly as much longevity as the Screamtail provided.
right? That is one of the many factors that TMM lost. Next up, the Franklin versus
TMM
M.
played a good game though. I mean, he was
Yeah, he played pretty strong in
he
defeat.
keep going too quickly.
Yeah, he played pretty strong
Yeah,
in
I was
defeat.
saying considering the matchup was bad, he played pretty well and kept it going for a long time.
Right, and yeah,
Kept it close
yeah,
at points.
he was cutting it close and ultimately picked up a pretty strong win. Very good. Next up, one of the few surprises in this series, MJ beating Arth9. One of the goats has fallen.
Stitch, were you up for this game?
Yeah, this was actually right before my game, and this was also very unfortunate to see because I think I remember right, Bellybolt kept recovering, well, using slack off, I think, and Zard just went ham.
Yeah.
I
Speaking
think
of,
that's, yeah.
go ahead, Stitch.
And I think this was just really unfortunate matchup, I think. Otherwise, I don't really have much to say.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate matchup, but not for the belly bolt. That was a little difficult, but that was not the main reason this was difficult matchup.
Yeah,
Yeah, true. Yeah.
MJ bringing Terrafire Charizard was pretty much this game's MVP because it was a huge threat to Arse9's minds, who had pretty weak defenses against it, especially it being Specs. Was it Specs Charizard?
It was Specs.
It
That was
was
definitely Specs.
it was Specs, and also the fact that Bellybolt is not electromorphosis and not and instead static is also a thing. But yeah,
Oh yeah, that's kind of funny.
nothing too noteworthy in this game. Just the fact that MJ actually had the better matchup and just continuously outplayed Arse9 at every step of the way. That was also a good factor. I wish I would have predicted MJ over Arse9. It would be an incredibly betting man instinct, but MJ is actually one of the few players who I think would beat Arse9. So yeah,
Well, what can I say? The Charizard MU was impossible.
it was pretty impossible. Unfortunate for that, and unfortunate for Arse9 in that case, because MJ really played the Zard well. And yeah, nothing much else to say. Good for MJ for keeping that Zard healthy, keeping that Zard fresh, and keeping that Zard spicy in order to take that win.
Yeah, it killed 5 Mons.
Almost sweeping uh, Arse9's team. All right, next up, SVNU. We got Fluore versus Irene. Now, Stitch, talk about the rear game.
Okay, so this is really funny because I found myself slotted in NU at Monday without any prior discussion. So I checked the Never Use Bazaar and there was absolutely nothing after home. So I asked around Finch and Chloe, um, asking if they had teams. They said no.
Oh dear.
So I was actually stuck for a while
Mm,
and I got COVID and my
yikes.
my head was all like wrapped up. And I actually got a private message from one of my teammates saying I should not post my teams because there were people who were passing teams to Irene. That was really funny. But I didn't have any teams to begin with.
Mm,
And I remember Roxy telling me that he would build for me. Eventually he didn't. So there was absolutely no prep. And
Yeah, came down to a few
Franklin
hours
posted a
before the
team,
game.
yeah,
No
like
building.
before an hour, like an hour before the game, and I used that team and I won. Yeah,
yeah,
Use what team?
the team Franklin posted in my channel like an hour before the
Ah,
game.
yeah, it's crazy what goes on behind the scenes in terms of the team chat. So yeah, going for in particular the game itself, like how did you look at this game and how did you look against Irene's plays while you're playing this game?
Uh, like this was my first time playing this tier post home, so I kind of had no idea what I was doing. Like I thought like, oh my god, I lost this game in like multiple turns. Like especially when I sacked the Sandaconda to this was a really stupid defog, and uh, I actually didn't think I could win this game until like the Sneasler the Lurantis lived the Sneaser's close combat after Terra. So,
Yeah.
uh, this was, I don't know, this is weird. I think Sneasel hit a lot. I really like using this mod because it just hits so hard.
Really, it
Otherwise,
has to.
yeah. That's okay. Or what did you have to say about this game?
I thought you lost the game when you sacked Rotom. I will not lie.
Yeah, that's yes.
Yeah, because I thought, did we just sack our last fighting resist into that thing that's close combating?
Mhm.
I actually thought Irene would sucker punch that turn, which was obviously completely wrong. But yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, to be fair, you can't really kill it, so I don't think or they had a reason to sucker punch.
yeah,
Yeah, overall, like, yeah, overall that grass terrace nasal was just the MVP. I'm surprised. I'm just surprised you hit the gunk shot onto the Rotom twice in order to kill it. In that case, if you, I think you would have had a pretty hard time dealing with that Rotom. Otherwise, and then of course, yeah, Lurantis managing to live a close combat from a completely terrifying, Terra fighting Sneasel Hisui for the Leaf Storm kill, and then Sliggoo Hisui just proving that endgame against the Dunsparce after.
yeah, and you could also tell from the end game timer that we were thinking to our fullest on how to win this game. It was like really nail biting end game for sure.
Yeah, it was very close. You could have easily lost that had that not tanked the hit. But yeah, this was a good showing for you. I think, even though it is your first time playing, it is you did fine for your first time. Irene, of course, very experienced in this year, so they should know how to play this tier by now. But yeah, just that end game kind of sucked, and then yeah, towards the end, the Dunsparce was left, and you had Sliggoo. So good on you.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I think it was well done.
Alright, next up we got SVPU Ryuji losing to Dugza. What happened to Ryuji? Why did they start falling off? Anyway, oh, there were a couple of sets that I kind of liked in this game. First of all, Quillfish Hisui bringing Barb Barrage. That's a new move that I've never seen anywhere. What does that do?
I think it's a low power physical move that you hit and have a chance of poisoning, and if you poison, it hits in double power.
So basically a better Venoshock?
Let me double check. I sort of went off memory. Okay, 60 power physical poison move, 50% to poison, and 2 times power if the target is poisoned.
So lower power than Venoshock, but still has the same effects as Venoshock, so that makes it better because it also has that chance to poison, whereas Venoshock doesn't.
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright, so this game, other than that though, this game had the Terra Poison Quackswell, which is a pretty defensive beast, if I'm being honest, standing up to most attacks well. Just having a good utility set for support. You got
Yeah, we had trouble breaking that.
You got Rapid Spin, you got Roost, you got Encore even. Like overall though, the game was pretty mid. Both players seemingly playing a lot more passively than most. Delta ultimately just picked up the win at the end after Electro just kept hitting the Terra Blast and Thunderbolts to good success. Other than that though, Yeah, that was just a pretty mid game, not gonna lie. And that's a damning statement considering the level of PU plays that we've seen all throughout. And these are two good PU players. It's just a shame that the game was a mid. Anyway, next up, we got SVLC Kebab versus Loki fan. This was pretty indicative that Kebab has a lot of hard times transitioning to SVLC in particular.
Yeah, sad to say, but you could very much tell he hasn't played this tier.
So, Kebab's Growlithe only revealing Sleep Talk was Coast Combat revealed was interesting. Although, potential misclick in turn 14?
Hmm? What do you mean?
I'm currently scrolling through it. Okay, so yeah, Growlithe. It was Growlithe versus Mudbray, and Growlithe seemingly for all intents and purposes, like should have had the kill against Mudbray, right? Why did he go for Sleep Talk when he's already awake?
Um, Micoy, did I not tell you it was choiced?
Oh, this thing was choice. What?
Micoy, they're all choiced.
Huh?
That Growlithe is usually Scarf here.
With Sleep
Yes,
Talk?
that's completely standard. I don't know if sleep talk is always a standard choice of move, but Scarf Growlithe is actually the standard.
Damn. That's something I've never learned. Is that Growl Scarf is too. You can tell I played a lot of SBLC. Um. Uh. Yeah, I've never learned the Growlithe Scarf here, but again, Sleep Talk. Being choice to Sleep Talk. Interesting.
Well, it was asleep. What do you expect?
But why would you still go for it? Why would you still go for Sleep Talk? Anyway, the real MVP.
Because you literally locked into it.
Okay, could have switched out and just deal with it with other Hermon, but still. Anyway,
I think locks were up. I don't know if we could have switched out. Maybe I'm remembering wrong.
the real MVP here was Loki fans' own Growlithe Hisui, who had Terra Grass, proceeded to Flare Blitz pretty much everything and won. I could
Yeah.
I could say that's how you do a Scarf Growlithe Hisui, right? But who am I to judge? I don't know Growlithe Hisui pretty well. Ah,
Well, that was probably a scarf one, so
it is.
you'd be right in saying it.
Next up, this one was a funny game. From two very unfortunate games to a funny game. Cheese versus Zern.
Is it funny because she's won? Is that why it's funny?
Yes, yes indeed.
Wow.
But looking at the game itself, it was okay. It was well played by Cheese here. That was the intent I was went into it, but after watching this game, I could definitely tell like, hey, she's actually stood up well here. First of all, though, it wasn't a good look. She's kind of wasted his Urshifu at the start, losing to Amoonguss Rocky Helmet and Wave Crash Basculation at the start. Going for Ice Spinner against Amoonguss wasn't really an exactly a good thing to do there, Cheese.
What, would you go for something else?
I would have just straight up switched out in this scenario. Maybe the D Knight, or even Iron Hands if I'm being ballsy. Um, Zern did miss target his Pollen Puff with the Moongus, Should have gone for Ting Lu for the safe kill instead of letting it be whirlwinded away. Just saying.
What did it actually go for?
Like I said, it mistargeted the pollen puff. He said it. He said it
Yes, what
himself. He
did it
said
target?
he said it himself in turn for I don't know, freaking his own partner. I would say.
Well, yeah, you like healing up your partner, don't you?
But
Nothing wrong.
why did he go for Tinglu then? Explain that.
Maybe he thought it would be dead, but he miscalculated.
Yeah, I don't know what the other time that is, but that was certainly a missed target. Um, Terra Dragon King Gambit actually managing to get a kill on Fluttermane with managing to crit kill Fluttermane with Sucker Punch was a pretty lucky term, if I do say so myself from Cheese. And towards the
If
end,
it, I don't know how much it mattered. Gotta remember, King Gambit's a beast.
yeah, it is. But yeah, the sucker punch against the flare man. I don't know how much it mattered, but still did big damage, and that results in Cern in being much very crippled, especially towards the end game, where King Gambit and Dragon Knight just dismantled Ursaluna plus Cresselia end game, even getting a flinch off of Ironhead here, which was pretty lucky.
Yeah, but it didn't matter at that point.
Nah, I didn't. I didn't. I know that. She's picking up that win there pretty solidly. Now, overall, I said this game was funny, but actually looking at it, Cheese had a good game.
You had
But
a very extreme reaction when you learned that Cheese actually beat Zern.
me, yep, yep. I
He
don't
flipped
promise nothing.
tables.
I don't promise nothing, but I will be flipping tables soon. All right, next game: Isaac versus JoJo Numbers. Uh, this one was a pretty straightforward match. With between two really good friends. King Gambit was really wisely used by ASIC here to being the solid win con to carry him to a win. Skeleton's Shadow Ball just keep dropping on Heatran. The special defense drops on Heatran, and the end game was pretty funny. But overall, nothing much else to say about this game. It's just very straightforward.
Are you going to mention the Klefki?
Well, it wasn't really evident that Klefki was Scarf now, was it?
Yes, it was not evident, but I thought it was just maybe worth mentioning.
Yeah, Klefki Scarf was pretty good. Okay, like bring it was pretty good to bring there, but it didn't really just didn't really have an effect in the overall long game, man. Yeah, this one was uh this one was just an ASIC win, a very solid ASIC win.
Yep, Jojo knew he would get bodied.
And that's coming from the username who has JoJo in its name. Anyway, next up, we got the N-Star Articunos tying the Primal Power Pangaros. Pretty good. In a pretty solid series here. Let's see this first game though. This first game was surprising, discombobulated. Words cannot describe how much Hervalt beat crying here.
Damn.
Maybe that is the word I should use. Damn. Um, her leading the game straight up with Sash Samurott Hisui, able to get in a spike against Crying's team, was very good. It's a very good, very good first step. Here is crying didn't exactly have hazard removal. I don't think Zapdos gets discharged here. Odd defog. But
Zapdos does get discharged. What are you talking
no,
about?
defog. I corrected myself and said defog.
Ah, okay.
But the highlight here, the highlight of the highlight set that we're gonna talk about is Curse Dragon Ball.
It's becoming a thing lately. I've actually been seeing it more. It was weird to me at first, but now I'm seeing it more.
But why? What's the purpose? Utility Dragapult is cool and all, but Curse?
See, it could basically be a way to sack your Dragapult while
Against who?
also getting, damage onto your opponent.
Against who? Garganacl? The stallers? Like Garganacl and Slowbro here?
Anything, really.
Brother. Um, Crying, unfortunately, missing a hurricane, allowing Great Tusk to set up Terra Water, sweep. That was a thing. Yeah, this turn right here, turn 9, when Zap. Well, actually, no, light screen was still up. But still, hitting it would have been nice. Getting to confuse it so that it would still attack itself, so that Crying could have a much more better leverage in this game. But no, this was fully set up. It Terra watered it, Ice Spinner Zapdos, and it killed everything else. So yeah, this was a
Yep, the water Great Tusk was the sweeper here.
yeah, that was a good first showing here by her. Very effective against Crying. Next up, Fat Batman won again, folks. The fucking Fat Batman won again against Avarice.
Hey, Stitch, you want to comment on this game? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen this one live. I don't really have a okay, this one I think Fat Batman did well. Like
Hmm.
I think he took advantage of the current meta, knowing it, and yeah, I don't really get the slander for Fat Batman this week. Like the week that he won against us, I was obviously not having it, but I think this week he did okay, and he got the result.
Yeah, that's fair. Although the burn at the end was kind of unfortunate for Avarice.
Yeah, but yeah, true.
Yeah, but I agree completely with Stitch. Like, you thought Fat Batman was bad at all, but no, he actually proved decently against Avarice here. Well, first off, the early game screen shenanigans with Mew and Dragapult was good. With Glamora actually being able to manage to both poison Volcarona and Mew, which Avarice kind of needed, I guess, because one for support, one for sweeping. It was just very needed by Avarice, and Fat Batman took advantage of that pretty early on. Although Avarice using Terra Steel Azumarill to outplay Gomorrah, and after Belly Drum setup, even managing to get a crit on Zamazenta, just wasn't enough for the kill though.
Zamazenta is built different.
Zamazenta is built different. Cursed Dragapult coming back again, allowed Fat to really cripple Avarice's Volcarona, getting poisoned and then getting cursed after. Not a very good sign when you're a sweeping Volcarona. And yeah, it came down to a Burn Zamazenta versus Articuno Galar. Terrifying Terra Blast enabled Fat Batman to get the W, and yeah, making him 2-0. 2-0.
Yeah, yep.
Someone stop Fat Batman. He will play playoffs if He will play playoffs if given the chance. Eventually, finals too. All right. Next up, we got
Hey, don't say that just yet.
nope. Nope. I'm jinxing for everyone, okay? I'm jinxing it for every player. That is my role here in BLT.
Oh, so you're cursing the Pangoros now?
Everyone is cursed. Because he brought cursed Dragapult, they're already cursed.
You will lose all your games in playoffs.
You won't.
You won't make finals.
Alright. Next up is Aberforth versus Richard Milliplane. Both brought Clodsire Ubers, but Richard brought Skeletor. Again, there's that Skeletor's Clodsire that we've been seeing in Ubers quite a bit. Extra Bolt. Richard actually started off the stronger in this game, using Will-O-Wisp to burn Clodsire and Calyrex Ice for good measure. His Giratina killing Aberforth's Giratina with Draco Meteor, and even using Terra Ground Miraidon to do big damage. I'm kind of surprised that Terra Ground Miraidon. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen that lately. We haven't seen Terra Water, Terra Dragon, not Terra Ground as much.
Terra Water? What?
Well, in my particular case, I see Terra Water Miraidon, which I find very odd. I know you would find that very odd.
I do, because I've never seen it.
I do. It's kind of a nuisance. Um, It's ultimately, though, speaking of water, Terra Arceus water was MVP, getting the Calm Mind, and even through Terra poisoning, even though he did Terra it to become Terra Poison, making Miraidon's Terra Blast super effective against it, it was living enough to recover and Miraidon losing the Toxic in the process, and just out predicting Clodsire with stored power and Judgment to kill Skeletor.
Oh. See, I don't think I saw this game. It's maybe like one of the only games I didn't see, actually.
But yeah, this was the game with the Arceus Water stored power set, which I'm very surprised he brought and actually proved it to good use, Aberforth. So, well done.
Huh. Well, I'll watch this game later. This sounds interesting.
Alright, next up Terracotta versus Medaya in its VUU. Now, this game had a lot of interesting tactics. First of all, Terracotta bringing Terra Flying Tyranitar. Interesting tactic, but getting roared out by Hippowdon and Hazards are present. Yeah, kind of just makes it hard to come back in now, huh?
Yeah. Also, terrifying T-Tar isn't actually uncommon. I think it's more standard than you think.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad Terra by any means. But yeah, it's just very weird to bring. Bring Terra Psychic, if I'm being honest. Um,
No, that's I've never seen that. Terrifying, I think, is somewhat standard.
yeah. Um, Using Dragon Dance against Slowbro while did manage to kill it. Tyranitar then lost to a foul playing Wochien with a crit, but still. And then towards the remaining part of this game saw the Slowbro managing to set up uh, combined against the Terra Steel Florges and managing to side shock it for the easy killings and ultimately picking up the win there. So good showing by Terracotta of all people. It's Medaya who's been doing good. It's just this matchup kind of killed their momentum.
Yeah.
All right, next up, SVRU. It's Shiloh versus Franco. Just Franco. This one was an interesting game when we watched this, huh, PokeArt?
Yes, it was.
Remember this game? This game had the Oricorio and Vaporeon. The majority of this game is just Oricorio plus Vaporeon against Florges. First, letting it naturally get rid of Moonblast PP, then outstalling it with Terra Steel Vape, who stood up well against the Terra Ground, Terra Blast Florges attacks, even when both are +6 in both special attack and special defense thanks to Calm Mind. It was just Vaporeon's special bulk just holding it out very nicely against Florges.
Hmm.
And then of course the remaining part of this game, completely outclassing by the end. Nothing much else to say. It's just that one notable moment in RU that really like turned the game around for Franco to win. Very bulky matchup, very long matchup, but still, it was just Vaporeon and Oricorio versus Florges. A handicap match, basically.
Yep, and eventually poor Florges got out PP stalled.
Yeah, and ultimately Franco picked up the win pretty easily. Next up,
Yeah, Florges just outright ran out of attacks.
yeah, and for both Moonblast and Terra Blast were out of PP by the time he had to switch out. So yeah, unfortunate. Next up, Hachimaki versus N Helio in NU. Ha! This one was funny. This game was pretty funny, especially at the end game. You'll see later. Um, Hachi tried to sweep Helio with Tauros, but using Terra Blast for a particular turn, I don't know what when I didn't specify which particular turn in my notes. It proved to be a momentum killer as Tauros dropped even lower health than it would have had. Where
Yeah, I think Hachimaki forgot that I think Terrablast remains special until you actually terrestrialize. Then
Yeah,
it could change.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. That was the turn. Like the Terror Blast against the Sandaconda was that particular turn I was talking about. Had he gone Terror Blast and actually gone for the kill against Sandaconda, he would have likely swept with Tauros here. But yeah, just letting it get to the red and just having it be that crippled enough for it to not be a real, for it to be a non-real factor in this matchup. And then, of course, towards the end, where we saw an interesting turn that a lot of people actually didn't quite know about, and Hachimaki certainly found it out for the first time, is that taunt prevents Dancer from activating. Not Quiver Dance activates, but the ability itself, Dancer, didn't activate.
Yep, that was an interesting turn. So one Oricorio was taunted, the other used Quiver Dance, and Dancer tried to copy the Quiver Dance, but it was taunted, so it couldn't. So instead, it just used Revelation Dance.
Which was really interesting. Everyone would think, oh, we've never seen that before. So it's very interesting as well that it went for Revelation Dance because that now confirms my theory that being taunted allows you to switch into another dancing move rather than Quiver Dance. So good for Helio for exploiting that mechanic and ultimately picking up a pretty good win over Hachimaki.
Yep.
Next up, we got Losco versus Pap in Pew. This game was weird. This game was real weird. Why? Because of one mon. One mon in particular. Is that Sligu Hisui over there.
Yeah.
I know, Stitch, you did try to bring Sligu Hisui and tried to make it work, but yeah, Losco's Sligu Hisui was an unkillable beast to say the least. Having Curse, Rest Talk, and Iron Head, Cap just cannot break this thing. Only getting really down to 1% at max before it rests again. And then yeah,
Yeah, I like this mon. It's really cool.
yeah, this Lugu set is really cool.
I think I like it too.
Um, Pap did try to play decently well against turns that were not dominated by Sligu. Did well by using Terra Raichu, Vespiquen to set up rocks, and Lycan Rock to kill Mischievous. Ultimately, though, this Sligu was just too much of a wall to handle for Pap, and ultimately lost to a Curse Ironhead sweep. It was very fine. It was really fun.
Mhm.
Next up, Drifting against Gorex. All right, next up is Drifting versus Gorex. Now, this game was very short, very sweet, even. Gorex used Growlithe Hisui to full advantage here, taking out Driftings on a speed tie and using Terra Steel Wattrel to counteract Terra Ice Voltorb in its offense.
Yep.
Good, very effective, just very nice overall. All right. Right. Nothing much else to say there. Gorix continuously to Gorix continuously to amaze people in the LC pool where people would think, oh, Dr- uh, Gorix versus Blank Person. Oh, surely Blank Person would have won. No, Gorix proving to be quite of an underrated LC main. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I guess I'll stop sleeping on Gorex.
You better. But in that case, he would lose then. Watch him. Hopefully don't.
Dang, are you saying I'd curse him?
I mean, we have that unfortunate effects, especially in our videos.
Yeah, Pote was on the Micoy video and then his team ended up losing.
Well, and as a team isn't doing so hot afterwards. All right, next up, SV doubles. We got Faye versus Raph. Now, this game, oh boy, this game was fun. This game was a fun watch. To start, Faye counteracted the Tornadus well with Terra Dark, Cresselia of all things. One, to brush off the prankster from Tornadus, and two, to just effectively set off Trick Room. This was very nice. Yeah, this was a very nice heat, very nice poggers. Yeah, a poggers play thanks to Pote there. Raph did try to catch the Abomasnow Ursaluna switch the next turn, using Fresh Chiyu and Fluttermane for the kill, which was very interesting there. Then Raph used the Sash Great Tuskwell, playing well even against tail turns. Like he was a very he was very careful to play around the Sash Great Tusk, using it to tank against the Iron Bundles, getting it to pretty much low. Um, Actually, no, not low, killing it even, and then waiting for the snow to just end on the specific turns in order to be really a factor in this matchup before it died later. And then, of course, the Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam Fluttermane ended up picking the double knockout. Raph got the dominant win after that. So, a very impressive win. Not much else to say there. It's a very impressive win um, by Raph.
Can we talk about how Faye brought basically a post home version of Frosty Fan Room?
Which one is the difference? Cresselia?
Micoy, come on, surely you know. Surely you've seen Frosty Fan Room, right?
Fan game. Well, fan game made me sick of it, so I don't have to see it all that much.
Micoy, basically this is like Frosty Fan Room, but we have an Ursaluna, a
Uh,
Fluttermane, and a Cresselia.
oh, I forgot about the. I forgot Ursaluna wasn't available until the update. Update's done a lot of good things. Also, a lot of done a crap
Nope,
things.
only just became available. Same with Cresselia, and Fluttermane was unbanned from doubles, I guess.
everything changed when the Fluttermane was unbanned.
Everything changed when the Fluttermanes attacked.
Speak and there's your nice Airbender reference there. Next up, we got Royal versus Maroon. This game, Poison versus Ghost. I did say before in last week's video that Terra Poison is good against Ghost. Ha, PokeArt.
Well, I guess so. Yeah.
Maroon looked to have the stronger start, though. To be fair to Maroon, it did have the stronger start, burning the Muck Alola with Spectrier and having a sub D-Dance Dragapult set that could easily break this particular Poison team. However, not going for another sub against Glombora in turn 11 really crippled Dragapult's chances. Instead, taking the poison and the toxic spikes were set, which was very unfortunate for Maroon. He really could have benefited by just going for either Dragon Dart or Phantom Force against Glomora here to really, try to take advantage of that. Try to take advantage of not having Toxic Spike set out in the front row and instead getting poisoned afterwards. Very unfortunate. Ultimately, that though was the game that turned Royal's game into his favor because he used Toxic Spikes for hazard control against Amoonguss, and Amoonguss and Slowking basically worked together for the remainder of this game, tanking hits from Basculegion and Spectrier well enough for the decisive W.
Yep. The Basculegion can hit hard, but ain't no way it breaks an Amoonguss unless it's got last respect, which it doesn't.
Thank God it did.
Yeah, that was banned, luckily.
Thank God. Yeah, that was a tie for the Articunos and the Tangoros. Moving on to Phantom Troop defeating the Snorlaxes. Phantom Troop just keeps surprising us over and over. I think these are the bottom two teams going into this, um, going into week 5.
To be fair, the Snorlaxes are the bottom team.
Oof. Says that for the reigning defending champions of BLT, huh? All right.
Yeah, it just didn't work out for them this year.
So, first off, Ender versus Star Master. This one of the few lax games to win. Star Master defeating Ender. This one, you described this game in 2 words, PokeArt, and they were perfect. Hazard hell.
Hazard hell.
Because this game had a lot of hazards. If you were a hazard fan, oh boy, you'd cream your jeans for this matchup. But though, Inder brought a pretty interesting Dragonite set that I haven't seen in use for a very long time. And it's the Fire Spin Encore Extreme Speed Roost Dragonite.
Was that used in like Gen 8?
Yes. Or maybe that, or I'm thinking of Ice Beam, Heal Bell, Roost, Speed. It was either one of those two.
Yeah, I yeah, yeah, something like that.
But yeah, this Fire Spin Encore, this Fire Spin Encore Dragonite set has been putting this to work so well. Managing to trap Tinglu, who set up spikes against Inder's side, which is very nice. Although Star, oh, nothing much else to say about this game though. Star pretty much had the control for the most part, paralyzing Golden Go, using Terra Ghost Zapdos for good defensive bulk against E-Speed Killer Dragonite and just Rapid Sprint Blocker for a great Tusk. In the end, D-Knight being paralyzed, Tinglu being poisoned, hazards all the way, crippled Ender in the long run, Star giving a good win, nothing much else to say.
Yep. The hazards really in the long run.
Especially in something with hazard as much hazard control as that, you really wouldn't have it any other way, huh? Next up, Lax versus Zoroark. Now, oh boy, as much as my boy Zoroark has lost again. Don't deny the fact that Zoroark can play well, especially in the first couple parts of this game, where he actually looked the stronger. He looked the stronger in the early bout, using Zapdos to really pressurize and beat Tinglu, using Zamazenta to have Iron Defense and Body Press done in against Dragonite. And, Fire Spin Encore Dragonite once again popped up, this time on Lax side and not the Lax's side. Um, Putting up Zamazenta in a low position just for an E-Speed kill. But great Tusk living on one, even after the Terra Normal for the kill and spikes removal. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice turn of events there for Lax. In the end, though, it was Electro that ended up winning the game, using normal Terra Blast at the end. Nothing much else to say. Lax just had a more solid connection as the game went on.
Yep. I get Lax just played better.
You could really talk up to Lax played better. That was it. That would be the review. But no, we like to be thorough here. Next up, Ubers. Mashing versus Genius from Hoenn. Hoenn had a few good ideas for this game early on, managing to get a few kills in with Flame Charge under Sun and the Stomping Tantrum.
Oh yes, Stomping Tantrum. That's not as common.
Oh, not really. Like you've never seen
I
anyone.
expect it to become more common though, like with Skeledirge being with Skeledirge probably seeing a rise in usage to Zacian. I imagine Stomping Tantrum will become more common on Koraidon.
I mean, yeah, if you could use like something like Collision Course, then Stomping Tantrum to finish off Skeledirge. That's just a tactic that I would like to see. Um, then the end game, nothing much else to say though. The mashing played better, and then towards the end game, Koraidon outplaying to get rid of the Shed Tail sub, burning a sweeping Arceus with Groudon, using Dragon Dance, Taunt, Terra Ghost, Arceus Ground to take the clutch W.
Man, I get Shed Tail is good, and I get Shed Tail is good, but like really? Orthworm? Like, are we just not allowed to use it? Are we just not allowed to use it with Cyclizar? Hey Stitch, do you know?
Hello? Do I know what?
Do you know why people seem to use Orthworm for Shedtail instead of Cyclizar? Is Cyclizar not allowed to have it in Ubers?
Uh, yeah, it is allowed. I think people are just using Orthworm because of Steel type Earth Eater.
Maybe.
Just the type.
Yeah, maybe, but still, Cyclizar would actually get some mileage out of Shedtail more than Orthworm right now.
Yeah, like I just think speed is probably preferable for that type of thing.
Especially for teams like that, yeah. If you're a team that relies on Shedtail, you would definitely want a fast Mon and not this frickin' Mon to be in its place. Just saying, I just don't like Orthworm in general. Watch people send me
Yeah,
Orthworm videos. Watch people send me
I've
Orthworm
never
videos
really
later.
liked Orthworm.
Watch people send me Orthworm videos later. What the frick? Next up, Rashay versus Slip in UU. Slip managed. Oh no, this one. Did you guys saw this game live? I did. Guys,
Micoy, you've gone quiet. So yeah.
this game, Slip managed to get a critical against Armor Rouge at one point, slowing down Rashay's moment hard in the very early parts of this game. Um, Iron Jugulus surviving on low to take out Screamtail was pretty nice. And then towards the end, the Terra Ghost Mimikyu came in, cleaning the end game using the crit Shadow Claw over Sandy Shocks, Shadow Sneaking to take out the Terra Ghost Decidui. Overall, nothing much else to say. It's actually Slip who picked up the win. Yeah, that was the only noteworthy thing about this game. Slip actually winning.
Yeah, crazy. He
I mean,
was he was 0-4 prior.
and Roche is actually having a decent record for himself. Yeah, crazy. Crazy to think that these late game things actually picked up wins. Next up, though,
I
Danny.
tell you, the one time we predict in favor of Roche, he loses.
Well, we have cursed Roche now. Let's hope that streak continues. Next up,
Hope it continues.
you hope. Wow, I sounded like a real dick. All right.
Yeah.
Next up, though, Danny versus Elfuzon in RU. This one was a good, evenly paced game, I think. It was very evenly matched for both sides, matching up greatly and just making expertly played predicts. It was just an early game at this point, yeah, but still, I was impressed. Until turn 40, where instead of Danny going for the straight kill with Vape, he instead uses Calm Mind and not kill Quillfish. Why would he
Oh
do that?
yeah. Um hold on, let me pull this game up.
Why would he do that? And let Quillfish get the Barb Barrage on and kill Vape. Wouldn't it make sense to just kill the freaking Porcupine at 28%?
What turn was this?
40.
Okay, going to turn 40.
Because it was low to start.
Okay.
Because it was low going into this. And yeah, Barbaros just kept hitting and
Oh.
hitting and hitting. Ultimately, Vape had the edge here against Quillfish, just ultimately didn't pick up that kill.
Yeah, I am a little confused as to why that was done.
Turn 41 made it even worse with, Terra Oricorio missing the Hurricane to kill the Quillfish even more, instead letting it get Thunderwave. Um, just missing that chance to just missing that chance to actually kill Oricorio by that kill Quillfish by that point and ultimately sweep afterwards with Crocodile. Well, Crocodile would be an issue, but yeah, it just that was the big thing that happened, and Elfuson picked up that win. It was unfortunate by Danny. Really could have won, but no, not in that case, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why Danny didn't just opt to kill it.
He still would have had momentum. Yes, Vaporeon would have still died, but he still would have had the momentum with Oricorio still being alive. Well,
Yeah, Oricorio wouldn't have gotten parried.
and he would have swept afterwards. Yeah, well, ah, well.
No, well, yeah, with Oricorio, yes, maybe.
Next up, most one-sided affair this week. Latias versus Ziri. Latias.
I'm just gonna say, oof.
Okay, to be fair to Latias, he did try to play well, utilizing Terra Flying Scyther, Bruxish, and Sneasel Hisui at certain points. But Ziri just majorly outclassed this boy, using Appleton to take good hits, and Appleton was an annoyance in this game. Appleton was straight up being bulky. And using Terra Fairy Rotom to kill Sandaconda, that was another thing that happened, and just yeah, the freaking Ziri just played well, played better.
As he always does.
No one can deny the sure impact of a Snow Janiri coming at you. Next up, SVPU, we got.
Yeah, you can't.
Go on.
I, I was gonna say you can't lessen that impact.
You can't lessen the Snow Janiri coming at you hard. Um, Next up is Actrotix versus Yes or No, My Dude in SVPU. Uh, There's a couple of things to note about that game. Terrifier Doug Trio was the MVP in this game. Sub, Swords Dance, Rock Slide, Terra Blast, blasting through Yes or No, My Dude's Mons.
Literally.
Literally, yes. And of course, we saw another returning Mon that was quite the interesting thing, Magnetic Flux Ampharos. It was taking hits well, and even after being Scarf Trick, it was locked to Dragon Tail, and yeah, it did some damage.
Yeah, it kept switching things in and making the hazards do chip damage, except for things that had boots.
Except for things that were boots, but otherwise everything else just gets lit by Ampharos. Ultimately, though, Yes or No, My Dude only had Sagu and Go-Goat as his last minute options, but the hazards were just too overwhelming and just being outplayed at the end. And Actrotix got a really good W capitalizing on that. Yes or No, My Dude just failed to.
Yep.
Alright, next up, we got Ace Hunter versus Vinny the Winnie. Why do they still keep slotting Vinny the Winnie, Trace? ESM. Like, why?
What's wrong?
I don't know. Just couldn't you have any other sackable options other than Vinny the Winnie? Why do you keep having this poor boy play against good players?
Well, I think they believe in him to do good.
As evidenced by the draft where this was their last pick. Yeah, Ace Hunter looked very strong in this game. Vinny kind of played passively, even though you did say last week that Vinny's best tier is probably LC. Ace Hunter just felt,
That's what they said, not me.
but Ace Hunter still played the stronger. He played pretty passively though. Vinny did, but credit to him, he did play a little better in the middle. Voltorb and Marini matched up a lot better. And he played well in killing Glimmet and Zorua. Ultimately, though, that crit Woodhammer killed Vinny's momentum and Marini, leading into the Ace W, which was very unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know what the damage was for it normally, but based on Vinny's reaction, I guess it definitely mattered.
Yikes. Which is a big yikes. And Gurky well, Woodhammer does get boosted by grassy terrain, which is another big factor. But yeah, still being able to kill Marini. Just,
Yeah, to be fair, it was also Terra Grass in grassy terrain with a wood hammer, which is also boosted by stab, and the Terra makes it like even more stab boosted, and yeah, that was a powerful wood hammer. But I guess that crit still mattered.
I guess he was expecting to live at um a bit low, like red, like Sash at least, like Sash. I say Sash, but 1% really. Yeah,
Invisible sash.
Invisible Sash. Yeah. Next up, the matchup that is really funny because it's Akuru Kokuyo versus his Kawaii Neko SMB. Watashi wa Subarashi plays there in this game. Um,
Oh, don't do that. Don't do it. Stitch hates weebs.
sorry. No, that was just Japanese. That wasn't even weeb talk. Anyway, this game, SMB kind of looked the stronger here, made better plays. Akaru did dodge an early Bleak Wind Storm for his Rillaboom to be just safe, and SMB did end up losing his Fluttermane in the process. So there's the Woodhammer. There's the Woodhammer biting back for the Laxes.
Oh yeah, wait, you're right.
Um, but Cresselia is still managing to pull off the Trick Room in that situation. Oh, and then yeah, the remaining parts of this game saw Akaru's play just is better. Ursaluna doing massive damage, Jet Punch Palafin finishing off everything else. It was an Akaru win by the end.
Yep.
Alright. And finally, last game of this particular week. We had 39 games to review, and this being the last one. Don't worry, we've done 40. Don't worry, we've done 40 game reviews in past week. So yeah, you're getting only just one game less. Dunox versus Felines. Fighting versus flying. Kind of already a bad matchup, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's definitely not the kind of matchup you want to have.
Uh, so there was a returning set from last year that we've noticed that happened in this game, and that is the bulk up substitute Lando. Welcome back, buddy. Welcome making a return.
Welcome back, Lando T.
Welcome back, and But unfortunately, it doesn't have max airstream anymore to take care of the fight of its poor speed. It just bulked up and earthquaked a lot.
Micoy, it didn't have max airspeed for most of Gen 8's meta,
Well,
I
that's
think.
unfortunate. Well, that's unfortunate because
Because Dynamax was banned.
this was when Dynamax was banned in OU. I see, I see. But
Micoy, it was banned
uh,
for most of Gen 8. What are you talking about?
oh, well, Uber's got it.
This is Monotype, Micoy. It was
Uh,
banned in Ubers eventually too, wasn't it?
oh, was it? Rip. Well, this is not Gen 8 PokeArt. This is Gen 9. And Bulk Up Lando making a huge return, just killing off the Great Tusk and chipping Breloom. That was nice. Um, Iron Hands managing to get a couple of lucky paralyze on Mount Moltres and later Corviknight, which proved Dunox in his favor. Like this was in his favor, Dunox. Tornadoes failing to Oko Iron Valiant because of that special attack drop was unfortunate. Overall, just a decent game riddled with hacks. That's all I can describe this game as.
Although I do feel like I'm still a little confused at how felines played the end game, if you know what I mean.
What do you mean?
Like, you had an Amorous, and couldn't you just have used that to kill the Iron Hands? Why switch in Corby when you get a free switch?
I don't know. We do
Yeah,
not
like
know.
I don't think that wins to I don't think Corby wins that, and you kind of need
No.
Corby for the Sneasler in the back. So I am
Right.
so confused as to why you tried to use Corby to finish off the Iron Hands and not, an Amorous.
Very unfortunate, and ended up costing felines probably one. I say one in quotations matchup because it wasn't really. It was already a pretty dire matchup by the end. So
No,
and
not really.
you don't think so? He still could have
Like
won
I
that.
said, just send in an Amorous, moonblast the damn thing. Surely it does plenty.
Even with
And
Corby,
even if it doesn't die, which it probably wouldn't, I'm guessing,
Assault
since
Vest.
that's probably why felines didn't switch it in the first place, just finish it off with Corby. I'm pretty sure that outsped, right?
Yeah, yeah, kind of.
And then you have a decently healthy Corby against the Sneasler, and I think you're good.
Oh well, we don't know why. Maybe he just gave up at that point. I don't know.
No, I feel like there's probably more to it, but I don't know.
I don't know either. We're just speculating about that point. But yeah, good to see Dunox actually picking up a win. Not
Yep.
not in the best case scenario, but he still picked up that win. So before we get into predicting for week 6, I would like to take a look again at the spreadsheet for week 5. Week 5 updated spreadsheet. So once again, the Pangoros are on top with a masterful 7 points. Jordy and T Nunez absolutely bringing us such good support from week 1 to 5, never really losing a week and just being good. You know? Next up is the Skeledirges with 6 points. I think these two teams in particular are pretty much locked actually for playoffs. It just does all the matter on who are they facing and what
It's looking
placements would
like
they
that.
and what placements would they have. Yeah. Then Roxy and Shade's team, the Iron Bundles, getting 2 wins with 4 points differential. So you guys are looking also pretty good, I would say.
Micoy, we're in like 7th. What are you talking
The
about?
sheet isn't updated.
Oh.
Like It's still at four.
Ah, you guys are not seventh. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
do we know what the updated standings are then?
Oh, no, didn't update this.
We go down to seventh, and that's it.
Brother. Eric, again, have this updated, please. Please. We're begging whoever is updating the sheet, please update this. This is not right. So again, in terms of crucial, what needs to happen in order for playoffs to be, good? Stitch, do you know?
Uh, just win. I don't think there's any other way. Just win.
Yeah, we just gotta win. We
For
just
you
gotta
guys.
win here and win next week. Then I think we're okay.
For you guys, yeah. But for the other teams, I'm guessing. What about the other teams? What needs to happen? Does people know? Leave your thoughts in the comments
Well,
below.
I think
Hmm? Go
I
on.
think a lot of things have to happen for the Snorlaxes because I think they're just out otherwise.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think. Well, for their opponents in week 6 and 7, they might have a hard time for that. So this might be tricky if you're a lax.
Well, rip them.
For them, yeah, rip them. But yeah, for the others, just win. That's all we need to know. And again, if we have an updated spreadsheet, we would be happy. Please, please, just. Anyway, speaking of spreadsheets, though, I lost my damn championship this week. Speaking of an updated, just the prediction sheet. So, PokeArt, would you kindly as to read out the results from Week Five's predictions championship thing?
Yes, sir. Uh, Hold on. Let me scroll to the week. La di da. All right. All right. Here it is. Week 5 predictions. All right. The results of this are a little surprising to me. I will not lie.
I lost my damn belt. Let's just say that I lost my damn championship belt after one defense.
In fourth place. Oh, to clarify, we count both Pap and Sublime's predicts for this because they were both a special guest last week.
Yep.
Sublime gave his predicts on forums, and for the ones he didn't put, I asked him in private. We will not be revealing what he said, but we'll just be revealing how many he got right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, in fourth place, we have Micoy at a measly 18 correct predicts.
Out of 40. Out of 40. I got below half. What the frick's wrong with me?
Well, out of 39.
39. But still, that's like low half.
Um, in third place, we have me at a measly 19 correct predicts.
Mm-hmm.
In second place, the one I thought would actually win this week, we have Wesh Papillon. Wesh Papillon at 20 correct predicts.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very close, as you can see. And for those who, and I guess a lot of you have figured out what that means now. In first place, to I think our surprise, Sublime with 21 correct predicts.
And new predictions heavyweight champion goes to our special guest. Sublime earns the win this week, but for the title itself, it goes to special guest X. So special guest has won the damn belt, and so Stitch, you will be defending that belt in Sublime's honor this week.
All right.
So week.
Yeah, it's not that hard of a. It's not that hard of a. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not that high of a bar because this was just a bit over half
Yeah,
predicted right. A
yeah.
lot of us kind of sucked this week.
Because there were a lot of upsets. There's a lot of upset predictions that we made that didn't go our way.
There really was. Yeah, there was a lot of upsets.
Yeah. Hopefully this week will provide us with a lot more so I can reveal my betting man instincts once again. All right. So, week 6. Shall we get to predicts now?
Sure.
First,
Now Stitch has to talk.
yay.
Um,
First off, we got the Flame Slinger Skeleturgis versus the Iron Path Ice Bundles, as I'm gonna call it now. It's the Bundies versus the Skeleturgis.
Say our name right at least.
Ice Path Iron Bundles there.
Thank you.
First off, though, SVOU, we got Balor versus Chaitanya. Balor's.
See, I think Chait wins.
What do you think, Stitch?
well, we definitely need to win this week and next week, so I'm gonna be biased and call Chite winning.
So, this is Balor's first foray into SVOU post home. While I don't know how he's been doing in post home, Chait, though, I feel confident in saying Chait. Because after last week, when he can prove he can do well, when given the right circumstances, and when given the right build, he could definitely pull off some good games and win. So I think I'm going Chait here as well.
A good choice.
Next up in SVOU, My Java versus Kebab.
See, I think this will be a good game, but I think Kebab is just better.
So, Stitch, what do you think?
I really like Java as a player. I think he's really great. He also carried me to my first custom avatar, so I really do like Java, but I'm bolding Kebab because he's on our team right now. And I
Okay.
think Kebab is better, yes.
Yeah,
So,
I would like predict in favor of Java for like most other opponents, but like he's versus us. So whoop-de-doo.
I think, yeah, I think Java has the better record right now in 4-1 compared to Kebab's what? I want to say 3-2 or 2-3. I don't know.
I think 3-2. Although one of those losses was an LC. So in OU, 3-1.
So for me, I'm gonna go in the opposite direction and say my Java wins. It's because, well, Kebab is decent and all. I think my Java has had the more decent performances, and I'm just generally impressed in how my Java has been doing. Especially, well, last week didn't really get to show it, but for most other cases, he definitely does. So I'm gonna go against the wishes here and then go on my Java. All right, next.
Wow. That's like, are you being a betting man? Is
Is
that
that a
it?
betting man? Is that a betting man instinct? Maybe.
Yes, I think it is. And I think Stitch would think so too.
Well, I think it is, but like I think it's fair to think that Java might win. Like I think it's an even matchup, nearly even.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so too. If we get to see the good prep and good builds from both sides. Next up, we have Fogbound Lake versus Lassen in Ubers.
Gotta predict in favor of Lassen here. He's too good.
What about you, Stitch?
Not been doing it lately, but he's too good when he's good.
What about you, Stitch?
If Lassen watches this video, if I predict against him, he's gonna flame me for days, so I'll go for
And
lessons.
he watches the videos.
Okay, that's now I love you. Thank you for liking my posts. I
Yes.
said it.
Wholesome. So both of you are going Layson. Um,
Yes.
oh man, this is a tough matchup. On paper, this is a tough matchup. Like both players are good in their own ways. Last Layson, of course, being a tried and true Ubers man, Fogbound Lake, coming on from the up and up in SV Ubers in particular. So I would say Fogbound Lake wins this one, but he's kind of been struggling a little bit, so I think I'm gonna lean more towards Layson.
You
Guess
say struggling when he beat FC last week.
Yeah, it was a tough matchup, but well, when eventually when we'll get to the Layson versus FC fight, that's something I would like to see on full display. But for now, I would say Layson to win.
That is a good choice, Micoy. Thank you.
Next up, we got SVUU, Just Drew versus my boy TMM. I say my boy
Is
because
he your boy because he's also Filipino?
it's just the pride, man. It's just the pride. All right, what do you guys think?
Well, I think TMM is simply the better player.
Stitch, what do you think, Stitch?
Well, yeah, I really like TMM. I think he's better in other gens compared to SV, and my heart obviously says TMM, but my head might be going the other way because of how Drew has been performing in SV recently,
Mm.
but
My head's saying
I
both.
will go for TMM anyways because I want our team to win.
My head and mind are wait, my head and gut are both saying that TMM wins here. Okay. Okay, I think he's just better than Drew as a player, playing
Ooh,
wise.
oh, that's kind of a spicy take. I think both are very even. I think both are evenly matched here, and both being the top two players in this pool right now, I would say this definitely proves to be a kind of a interesting matchup. But apart from Shiba, I think these two are the best players in the pool. Um, I think I'm gonna go with the tried and true Drew here. Despite TMM being my boy, I think Drew generally has the better performances this entire tour. TMM's been doing great, but Drew, I would think is a kind of a little bit step above TMM. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think it's fair to think that. Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but I still think TMM's just better.
Next up, SVRU, Tear Acid versus Arsenine. This is an
Oh, is
absolute
this even a question?
it's an absolute mugging, is that what it is? It's not a question, it's a mugging. We're all going for Arsenine, right?
Yes. It ain't even just because he's my teammate either. Literally, this is something that is one on paper. I think.
It's like 100 level to it's like level 100 player versus level 1 player. So Arsenine to win.
Whoa, I don't know if it's that bad,
Well, in terms of
but
matchup, it is. In terms of matchup, I mean, not as a player. It's just matchup wise. All right. Next up,
damn, okay.
SVNU. This is PokeArt's first foray into the tier, and it's going up against Tonki.
Personally, I think I would have preferred to play in week 5 or earlier when it wasn't post home.
But this is now post home. What are you gonna do about it, woman?
I'm figuring that out.
All right. What about you, Stitch? What do you think about this matchup?
Well, I have to say it in front of the person who's playing.
Okay.
Well, um, we will make sure PokeArt wins. That's all I have to say.
Definitely make sure to prep this woman up for against Toki, who's been doing decent in this tier. In terms of matchup, PokeArt skill versus Toki skill, it's kind of apples and apples. Everyone's saying Toki, but I'm a betting man. I'm going PokeArt.
You're also biased, I think.
Oh, that's just my betting man instincts. Yes, it
And
is
you're
biased.
biased.
Yes, it is
You are
biased.
biased.
I'm not ashamed in
You
saying
are
that.
a biased man.
All right, next up, T-Lanet versus Ryuji in PU. What do you guys think?
I understand this is a bit of a tough matchup for Ryuji.
Okay. You're still going Ryuji, aren't you?
Uh, I won't comment.
What about you, Stitch?
Well, this is definitely a tough matchup for our team, but uh, like if I looked at this as if it was a neutral, like I wasn't on either sides. Well, I think. Well, I hate to say it, but I might go for Twin, but like only a slight edge.
Hmm. I don't know what happened to Ryuji, honestly. I think Ryuji has the from the early high that was pre-home. I think Ryuji's kind of fallen off as of recently. Like his games aren't that exciting to look forward to, and I genuinely hope like Ryuji turns it around and does us justice for having good PU games again. But Telenet's gonna be a hard opponent, that's for sure. So I hope Ryuji cooks. So
Yeah, he really will be, because we haven't seen a damn thing of what he's done post home. And he uses unconventional sets pre home. So he's unpredictable.
yeah, he's gonna be cooking. He's gonna have to cook hard against Telenet. I'm gonna predict Telenet because he has been impressing a whole lot more. And yeah, it's just a matter of time before what the hell is gonna happen when these two minds meet. So yeah, I mean pretty hard.
It'll be a fun match.
Yeah. Next up we have Greedy versus Skelly and LC.
So I think this is like a 50-50 because it's LC.
Hmm. But who are you leaning more towards? You can't just go 50-50 in these videos. In these videos, you do not go 50-50.
Well, ask Stitch.
Stitch?
Well, having seen LC games, having played LC, I think it's a horrible tier right now.
It is.
Well, I think Greedy is more familiar with SP, like especially post home and stuff.
Hmm.
But well, I'm obviously rooting for my player, but like on a neutral view, like third person view, I think I would go for Greedy a bit more.
Yeah, you see,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, you see, like Greedy here. Greedy's been the, of course, Greedy's been great in pre-home LC. I think Greedy's one of the top players. Post-home, he's kind of he's finding his footing. Like he's trying to figure something out in terms of the meta. Meanwhile, Skelly pre-home, like I'm gonna say it, he's kind of mid, and then post-home, I don't know even know what he's gonna do in post-home LC.
Yeah, we don't know what he's gonna do post home. This
So
first time he's playing it.
so this is gonna be a tough one. Oh man, this is kind of a hard matchup, but I think I'm gonna lean greedy again. Sorry, Skelly. I just need to see you do well here, buddy.
It's totally understandable, but who knows? Cheese was winless in pre-home, but once post-home came, we're winning.
Yeah. This one's gonna be a thing. This is gonna be a thing, and we'll be interested in seeing. Speaking of things, we'll be interested in seeing Michael Der Best versus London in DOU. Boy, son, Michael in a post-home DOU.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he can play anything, so they're like, yo, if he can play anything, let's just put him in DOU for a presumably free win. It's not going to be that free though.
Well,
Maybe it won't be free at all.
oh, you're going London? Are you saying you're going London?
No comment.
Fine. Stitch, what do you think?
Well, having seen Michael play, like he can play very good in any tier. Like I saw him play in BSS World Cup, and he went like 7-2 or 8-2.
Oh, Jesus
He's
Christ.
he's really good. I think he can play any tier with no problem. But London is my brother, like my brother of the brother, and we're very close friends. So I'm definitely gonna be biased.
All right. Michael playing
You know
DOU.
what? Good on you.
Michael playing DOU is just one of those weird anomalies. For me, at least, Michael playing DOU is just a weird anomaly because he can play every tier. It just doubles as just totally different playing field, but than what he's used to, and he's great at singles. Um, Against London though, I don't know. London maybe have to cook something hard in order to prep against Michael. So I think I'm gonna go with the general vote here and go for Michael. I mean, it's hard to really bet against Michael when he can literally play any tier.
As someone who has teamed with Michael, both me and Stitch actually, uh, yeah, can't really predict against the guy most of the time.
Don't be hard.
So we're gonna have to definitely try hard a little here.
And finally, SB Mono, we got Seru versus Azik.
LOL.
Yes.
Is this a question? Especially since they played. Is this a question?
Oh, they played when.
They played. I won't tell you the results, but I think I know who you predict.
Yeah, Stitch. If you want to give your thoughts, don't say anything about the game itself.
Well, I did see the game live, and well, it went with my initial predict.
All right, so I assume you're going for Azik, so I'm also gonna go for Azik because yeah, it's
And
Azik.
I'm also going for Azik.
Because
Would
Azik
have done so even if I hadn't played.
Because Azek's just one of those players who's just consistent. He's just really good at what he does. Sarah is also good. Like, don't get me wrong, Sarah has been good in BLT so far, especially in pre-home, where he's done very well for himself, overachieved a lot. But Azek, very consistent, very good player. Would be hard to bet against, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you can't really bet against him in most matchups.
All right, now that we've got the biasness out of the way, it's time to go very objective now, boys. And it's our Articunos versus the Resort City Rufflets. First off, SVOU. Highlight. Crying versus Sylveon use Calm Mind.
Hey, wait, did this game happen?
Did this happen? You scroll down. I'm not
I think
scrolling
it
down.
might have. Yeah, I will check since you like to not be spoiled.
For anything, anime, BLT games, nothing. Don't spoil me on anything unless I see it live.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they played.
They played. Okay. So, let's not check the game out for now because we are going to be talking for that one next week. But who do you guys go for? Be honest, PokeArt.
What are you going for, Micoy?
Shit. Krang has been doing mid. I will say it now. He's doing mid in this BLT. Not really playing all that much, and not really having that impressive performance as Krang is very known for. Meanwhile, Sylveon, overachiever. I'll just say it. Like 5-0 currently in BLT. Maybe he's gone 6-0, maybe. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
Or maybe it's 5-1.
So yeah, I'm gonna go for the betting man here and go
Not
for Sylveon.
saying.
Although, is that really a betting man take?
Yeah, I don't know if that is a betting man take. Thing is, uh, I against most other opponents, I think I'd probably predict Sylveon here. But I think Crying has just been doing sort of middling because they're not playing in their best tier. Sure, they can supposedly play everything, but I think Crying's best in OU.
And he's playing OU now against Sylveon, who's been doing pretty good for himself in OU. So what do you think?
I will not. I will not lie. I think I would have predicted Sylveon here.
All right, Stitch, what do you think?
Well, I think I would have predicted for Crying because I think she's fundamentally been better. Like, she's more definitely experienced in OU than Sylveon, who was originally a random battles main.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have expected Crying to win a game at some point, and obviously after the TLT a few years ago, I'm kind of biased for Crying, so I think I would have predicted for Crying either way. Like in
Okay,
the past weeks when she lost as well.
okay, fair enough. Next up, Avarice versus HCR1. Now,
Hmm.
what do you guys think? Because I'm honestly conflicted, and I want thoughts.
Uh, I don't know what to say.
Stitch, what about you?
I think Avarice has been doing better in SV than SS, and I think he's coming off with a loss, but I think I'll go for him here.
Hmm.
I think he's done a step up in SV in general, and I think he can win this one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What about
All
you?
right. I think I'll say what Stitch just said and also go Avarice. I don't really have enough to say about ACR1, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think ACR's win's been good, but I think Avarice, despite losing in a horrible way against Fat Batman, um, I think Avarice, comparatively speaking, is the better player of these two. Has been doing very well for himself in SV, and is just doing enough for me to get his vote. So I think also Avarice. So
Oh,
next,
okay.
all right, next up, FC
Oh
versus
gosh.
Aberforth. The rematch of a rematch of a rematch. This was 3 times played last year in BLT. I don't know who exactly won there, but I think it was 2 FC, 1 Aberforth.
Something like that. Yeah, it was back and forth.
So in Gen 9 Ubers, we're getting ready for a treat, y'all. What do you guys think?
Oh, I don't know because this is Gen 9. If it was Gen 8, I probably would have said Aberforth.
Ooh, but it's Gen 9 PokeArt. What do you think?
What do you think, huh?
What do I think? Stitch, what do you think?
Well,
Oh my,
they're both really good players, obviously. So I won't say much. I think I'll go for FC. Just a gut feeling.
I mean, I'm biased for FC because I've teamed with FC in the past, and well, not team, but I have been with a team that has FC in the past, and he's good. But Aberforth, I acknowledge, is also very good. So this is a complete toss up for me. I think I still want to go FC.
I think we're all going with a little bit of bias because Micoy, you've teamed with FC. I've teamed with Aberforth.
So well, bias wins in the end. So you're going Aberforth, huh?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Aberforth, don't bring a team that's weak to cheese, okay? Don't lose to cheese and you win.
Don't worry, Cheese is not playing Ubers. What are you talking about?
N- no, not that kind of cheese. That cheese wants Tago to sit on him.
All right, SVUU. We got Yavitu versus Udon Girl. Oh boy, what happened with Udon Girl? I mean,
Udon girl. Udon girl, please win.
what happened with Udon Girl? What 0-5 going into this week?
Oh, and 5.
Stitch, what do you think?
Well, I don't think Udon has the same momentum in SV as compared to how they've been doing in SS. So I think I'll go with Yavi here. He also helped me a lot in UFPL.
Mm,
So yeah, I think this is pretty simple.
mm.
Udon girl is a turtwig.
Well, like I said, Urangoro was really good in SS. Like, I think they did really impressive in USD as well. But like, it's not the same person I'm seeing in SV. I think, well, there's a lot of unfortunate instances in games, but like, I think Kavi is a good player and a good builder in general. Like, not to degrade Urangoro by any means, but I think just Savvy is good.
Mm. Okay, what about you, Pokeyart?
I'm going Udon girl. I can't not. I just want Udon girl to win. Also, I think Kavi 2 is
Oh,
okay.
oh, okay. So yeah, definitely. I think Udon Girl has it much better than she did in previous weeks because in previous weeks she had what Shiba, then TMM, then Drew,
Rue, Roche.
Rashay. Like she's been having hard opponent after hard opponent every single week. So maybe this is the week that things turn around for Udon Girl. Not saying Yavitu is bad though. Yavitu can absolutely play singles well if he has all the momentum in the world, but Udon Girl, I just can't bet against Udon Girl. I have to pick Udon Girl here. Otherwise, then it's probably us predicting for Udon Girl that is putting her in a bad position. I hope that's not the
Cursing
case.
her. I don't want to curse her.
We're predicting still for Udon Girl. Huh. Hopefully you get the momentum you need, girl. You've been impressive in games. You're just not winning them. SVRU. We got Terracotta versus Plaz.
Well, Terracotta did pull a surprising win over Medaya last week. I think Plaz is better.
Stitch, what about you?
Yeah, I'll go with Plaz. I think it's about time he got a win this week.
Yeah, another player who desperately needs a win because Plaz has not been doing bad. Plaz has been pulling off some good RDU games here And I think this is probably the momentum that he needs. Despite Terracotta upsetting Medaya in week 5, I think Plaz will finally get his win and absolutely pull off an amazing win over Terracotta. We're all voting for Plaz here.
Yep.
Next up, SVNU, Shiloh versus Piyush.
Shiloh.
What about you, Stitch?
Well, Piyush is like one of the best Indian players I've seen on the site, for
Ooh,
sure.
bar.
But
That's a very hard bar.
Shiloh is a good player. I think Shiloh will win this match.
Oh man, Piyush has been coming into his own in NU, and I'm pretty satisfied with what Piyush has been doing because Piyush has been coming into his own in NU, very absolutely pulling off some good games. But it's Shiloh. Shiloh is great. Any tier he touches, well, except for the games he lost, anything Shiloh touches can easily be. He can absolutely be suited to them and absolutely play well. I think I'm going Shiloh as well, despite me traditionally picking the NU staple over a newcomer. I think Shiloh's just that good.
Is Piyush even an NU staple? Since when was that a thing?
I don't know. I just see him as kind of a lower tier main, lower tier staple.
I don't know how true that is, but okay.
Okay. SVPU. This one, aside from FC versus Aberford, this is my pick for highlight of the week. Tenebraside versus Los Shoto.
Oh my god.
All right. What do you guys think? I'm genuinely curious.
I think I want to know when these two play so I can catch it live, even if it's at an ungodly hour.
Me freaking too. I would be killing myself if I didn't see this live.
Whoa, now.
Anyway, Stitch, what do you think?
Well, like I think these two players have been doing good, but like I haven't caught any of their matches live, so I'll just go with Lasco.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's not much thought put into it. I'm just going with Lasco. Not really particular reason.
Hmm. No, you PokeArt.
Oh, this is so hard. I feel like these two play so, I feel like these two are on a similar skill level.
Oh, they are. They are. What do you think? What does your gut say?
What do you think?
Rick, this is hard, man. That's why I'm stalling so much because this is so hard. These two are great. Like these two are the best lower tiers players we have in BLT, except for Arsenine, I guess. But this one is generally my most favoritist matchup to look forward to. All BLT. I just want to see Losco versus Tenebrasite. So I think I'm going Tenebrasite, but only slightly.
Interesting. I think I'll go. Mm, mm, I thought maybe I had my decision, but now no, I don't know anymore.
So even between these players.
I gotta think a little, see what my gut is saying versus what my mind is saying.
Stop stalling. Give me an answer in five, four, three, two. What do you think? Go.
Um, uh, I don't know actually.
Your mom is OP is not playing.
I
What do
just
you
yeah,
mean?
because I still don't know.
What?
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 I'm sorry. What?
What did you say?
What?
Anyway, whatever. Just pick a name. Just coin flip or something.
Let's go.
All right, let's go to win. I'm the betting man apparently, but Tenebraside is good. So hey,
Look, my gut is telling me Losco. I think my head is leaning a bit more towards Tenebrosite, but I'm going with my gut.
All right, SVLC Gorex versus Hacker. This is a matchup that is kind of underrated. Not gonna lie. We all know Hacker's a great LC main, but Gorex underrated LC main.
Yeah, like Gorix has been doing pretty good in LC, except for losing against Loki Fan.
Well, that match aside, what do you guys think? Who's gonna win? Stitch, what about you?
I I say Hacker.
Well, for me, well, Gorix is a bro. He's a close friend, but I'll go for Hacker because like LC minis right now are just built different. And also Gorix is really lazy right now. He's not doing any of the prep in RCOP. He's not doing the best job at being a co-manager, so if you're listening to this, please talk more in your channels.
Yikes.
Otherwise I'm going for Hacker.
I've been predicting for Gorex all BLT. I think I have been predicting for Gorex all BLT, and I still am gonna go with that tradition. I think Gorex is gonna be Hacker. Like this is completely betting man instincts. I think Gorex has done enough for me to warrant a win over Hacker.
Damn. Okay.
All right, next up, SVDOU. We got Faye versus Aragon. Another highlight.
What do you guys think?
Stitch.
Well, I'll go for Aragon. I
Oh.
have seen his teams. Like he posts some of them after he plays
Mhm.
on a thread. I think his teams have been like fundamentally a bit better and a bit more easier to use. So I think he has more knowledge in the tier right now, and I have been a bit more impressed than Faye. So both are really good players right now, but I'll go for Aragon.
Some for me. I think both have been playing very well. I think Aragon has been definitely doing good in DLU against a certain opponents. But Faye beat SMB in week one and has never really faltered since. I think I'm going Faye.
You don't consider last week faltering?
That was just a slight hiccup. That's not faltering. It's just a slight hiccup. Yeah,
Sure. Okay, Micoy.
sure lost a rap by cheap tactics, but still. What do you think PokeArt
I,
then? Huh?
I think I'll go Faye as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if Aragon wins.
All right. And then we got Royal Reloaded versus TDR.
I'm going Royal Reloaded for once.
Uh-huh. Stitch?
Well, this is a bit tough. I think I'll go for Royal Reloaded, but like it's not that like it's a bit even. I think I won't be surprised if TR wins this game.
You know what? Me either. Like TDR, if he does pull off this win, like I wouldn't be surprised if TDR manages to come to his own, especially in a post-home SV territory where he's doing good for himself. It's good. It's a good showing for him. Well, Royal has been doing pretty great up till now. I'm going with Royal. Yeah, I think this is a comfortable Royal win.
Yep, we're all going for Royal Reloaded then.
Next up, we got the Phantom Trout against the Dress Rosa Dracoviches. First off, SVOU, we got Ender versus Clean.
Ender, in my opinion.
Stitch?
Well, well, before I say anything, I think this will be my last predict because like I have to dip now. It's been a bit long and I'm tired. I
Oh,
need to sleep.
well,
So I'll say
Aww.
something.
well,
I think I'll go for clean.
why do you think Clean?
Well, well, I don't know. Like, there's no specific reason, but I think Clean has been a better OU player, like, by history.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I think I'm going Ender. Like, I think Ender's been just generally more impressive as opposed to Clean, who's been mid. To be honest, it hasn't been really showing that killer instinct that I've been wanting to see from Clean, from last year at least. I want to see that last year Clean, not this year's Clean has been. Eh. I guess Team Charm was right in week one in saying that Clean hasn't been the hottest. Wow. All right. So yeah, I think I'm going with Ender.
Wait, so Stitch is going clean?
Yep.
Oh, huh.
Next up, we got Lax versus Sword Strike. It's just gonna be us now since Stitch is left. Lax versus Sword Strike.
Uh, right, hold up. I think Lax.
Oh, okay. Yeah, both players. Okay, Sword Strike. Is he 2-0 in post game?
I think so? Wait, Sword Strike or Lax?
No, Sword Strike. I said Sword Strike specifically.
Oh, then I don't know, is he?
I think he is. He beat One Last Kiss last week, and I think he did. He beat someone in week 4. So, well, technically it would be pre-home, post-home, but Sword Strike's been 2-0. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going Lax as well. I think Lax has been generally more impressive.
Yeah, me too.
Next up, we got Mashing versus Ainskrad in Ubers. Um, what do you think of this matchup?
I think I'm going Ainscrad.
For sure.
Yes.
I am going for Mashing. 'Cause I think Mashing's been
Dang,
taking.
you don't believe in the power of Ainscrad?
I don't believe in the power. I do believe in the power of Boy. I won't be surprised if he wins. But I think Mashing has been just a better player, general. I think if Mashing can play Ubers, Mashing can play Ubers very well, and so I think Mashing for me.
I'm still thinking Ainscrad. I don't know why, but I think I believe he will win. I think he'll prevail.
Hmm.
He's better than people give him credit for, I think.
I guess, and that's been kind of Boyne's story. Um, not really, not really being predicted the best, but hey, if he goes low ball, he can actually play well.
His
Right,
record is really good right now, and I think we're all forgetting that.
right. SVUU, we got Roche versus Sheba.
As
Uh,
good as Riche is, I'm going Sheba.
yeah, I was gonna say like this would be a highlight match on paper. But on paper, I think Sheba has done so much well enough in order to win. Yeah, I think Sheba wins.
Yeah, me too. Although I wouldn't be totally surprised if Roche wins. He's been doing good.
Yeah. Speaking of doing good, SVRU, two players who have finally earned their keeps from last week by getting a win. Dunox versus MJ.
See, MJ beat Arsenine last week.
Hmm.
Who am I to predict against him after that?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why Dunox is slotted here in RU. Like, yeah, it's good exposure but for like MJ who beat Arch9 last week, I can't say I predict against MJ. I'm going MJ.
Also, I think MJ's probably just better in this tier than Dunox in general. He's been doing better.
Yeah. All right. Next up, SVNU. We got Actor Text versus Star Real.
Ooh, that seems like a good match.
You think so? Has Star Real been good
Yeah,
in NU?
he's done good in NU before.
He's had his moments, yeah. I don't know. I've just been generally more impressed with Actor Text. I'm going Actor Text.
I'll go Exertix too.
Oh boy. Next up, we got Danny versus Dougza. That's actually a highlight.
I'm going Danny, personally.
If this was on paper, this would have been a highlight, but Danny's been doing good while Dougza has been struggling a little bit. So, yeah.
Even though he did get his footing last week against my own player,
But
teammate. I like
but
it.
from going from Dougza versus Ryuji to Dougza versus Danny, it seems like a leap in logic here. So I think Danny wins. Yeah.
Yeah, even though I feel like Danny played a bit odd last week. Also got hacks though, so not entirely his fault.
Right. Next up, SVLC, a matchup more closer than you expect. Ace Hunter versus Loki Fan.
I know I probably predict in favor of Ace Hunter too much, but I have to predict for him here, I think.
So you're going Ace Hunter. I'm gonna go with Loki
Yep.
Fan. I think Loki Fan's just
Whoa.
So I think Loki Fan has just been Loki Fan surpassed my expectations. I really thought he was going to be that player who's going to be middling in LC, but turns out if he can play well, oh boy, he can play well. And against Ace Hunter, I think this is going to be I think this is going to be a good struggle because Ace Hunter is also really good, but it's Loki Fan. I think he can pull it off.
Interesting. I don't know. I feel like Loki Fan will struggle a bit more against a true LC main.
Yeah, but
Not to say he isn't a true LC main, but like he hasn't been facing a ton of true LC mains, except for Greedy. I don't think he's faced. No, yeah, he lost versus Hacker.
yeah, but I generally think this is gonna be a great match on paper. All right,
Yeah, but I think Ace Hunter will win.
all right. I think Loki fan will win. So this is interesting. Akur Kokio versus Zern is next.
I'm going with I'm going with Akaru Kokuyo.
Because he beat SMB.
Yep.
Zern also
Also
beat.
been more impressed with Akaru than Zern.
Uh, Zern also beat SMB in a much closer matchup. Akur just kind of dominated SMB. I'm going Zern. Honestly, like Zern's been. I exactly think the opposite. Like I think Zern's been doing much more impressively than I did with Akaru. So it's a
Even though Zern lost to Cheese last week, which you flipped tables over.
because I wanted to Zern to pull off the win. That's why I'm going Zern.
No, you were shocked. You don't want to be offensive, but I know you were simply shocked.
I am offended. So yeah, I'm thinking Zern to win.
Well, okay, but don't come crying when Akaru wins.
I won't. I take these matches like a man. Not last week. Last week was a fluke. Anyway, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, Failbear versus JoJo in Monotype.
Is this a question?
Hey, don't deny Failbear. This is his first foray.
I will. I will deny Failber
Wow. And you say I'm the harsh one.
because JoJo is much better in this tier. I think I have yet to even see Failber play much Gen 9.
Yeah, I haven't seen Felber play Gen 9 either. Like, I hope he hasn't bailed on us. And yeah, JoJo to win. And there's no two ways about it.
Yeah, JoJo's quite good.
Now, finally, we got number 1 versus number 8. Sunny Shore Snorlaxes versus the Primal Power Pangoros. At least from what I've seen,
Oh, that is just unfortunate.
this is what a cruel way to end this particular part of the predictions. SVOU Star versus Sierra Napoli. What do you think? Star versus Sierra Napoli.
Star.
Yeah. Despite, Sierra Napoli being good, you can't deny that it's against Star Master.
Star diff.
Star 100%. SVOU. This is just embarrassing. If Zoroark loses to Fat Batman, I'm just embarrassed for all of us.
Yeah, I know. Zoroark is like your boy. Your underrated boy. Who's actually probably older than you, given how long he's been on the site.
But I'm Fat Batman's gonna win, isn't he?
Are you predicting? Are you?
My horror is that Fat Batman will beat Zoroark. That's complete. That will scare me more than any other horror game or movie ever. So, yeah, I'll pick Zoroark. I'll be a safe bet. I'll go Zoroark. This can't end in tragedy, right?
I am also predicting Zoroark. Although I'm not confident with this, I'll admit.
This scares me. I'm right now in the recording. I am shivering in my boots here, woman. Like, come on.
You wear boots?
I do wear boots. I'm kidding. No, I don't.
I
They're
wear
uncomfortable
I wear
boots.
boots. Do you wear boots?
They're uncomfortable. Boots are. Uh,
My boots are nice and comfy.
that's your boots. Genius from Hoenn versus Velvet is next, and did this split?
I don't think this happened.
Good.
Did it?
I don't think it's happened
Yeah,
either.
I don't think so.
Um, what do we think? Because both players here
Oh,
just.
I actually just realized that Boyne versus Mashing actually happened.
Oh boy. Well, we're keeping the predicts as is. Whatever.
I didn't even know that, and heh,
Hey,
get wrecked.
F. Um, who do you think wins between Hoenn versus Velvet?
Velvet.
Really? Because Hoen's been doing. Uh, this is a matchup I'm not interested in. Honestly, both players are just not not to the top tier of Ubers. In a stack Ubers pool, these two are the ones you pitted against. Really? I'm just not into this matchup. I guess I'm going Genius from Hoenn because they've played more, but Velvet's good too. So I'll be a betting man this time, and I'm gonna go for Hoenn.
I wow. Huh.
I'm just not.
I thought you were like the least impressed with the guy out of everyone.
But no, I think this could be the week that Hoenn pulls up an upset. Or to some people, upset.
This is like Velvet slander, I think.
I don't know. I'm just not impressed with this matchup. Honestly, I'm just not. I'm just not feeling with this matchup as other matchups are. That's the truth of it all.
Huh.
Next up, from a matchup I'm not looking forward to, this is a matchup I am absolutely looking forward to. Slip versus Spitfire Arcanine.
Spitfire Arcanine.
Yeah. Despite Slip finally getting a win, he can't just catch a break, can he? Spitfire, too goated. I think I'm going Spitfire as well.
Yeah, like if you thought all of Slip's opponents were bad in previous weeks, this is a UU Masters finalist. And one of two people who have beat TMM so far, even if it was luck.
But that was pre-home UU Masters finals. This is post-home. I think Spitfire can do well though.
Which means maybe Spitfire will cook even harder.
Oh please, please cook even harder, Spitfire. We all miss that. Nah, nothing much else to say. Spitfire wins. SVRU, Elfuson versus Franco.
While Elfuson did well pulling off the win against Danny last week, Frank is 5-0.
One of the best records in this pool. And this all of BLT actually. Franco is undefeated.
Yeah, he actually has one of the best records in the tour right now. He is doing quite well.
He's a goated player, and this is where I pose the question: is this even a question? Franco wins 100%.
Damn, that's very harsh actually, considering Elfuson won last week against a thing I didn't expect him to win.
Who do you
That's
think?
harsh.
What do you think, huh?
I don't think Elfu deserves that disrespect. Like, sure, I think Franco wins, but like that's a harsh way to put it.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because Elfuson's games tend to be hit or miss, and while last week was a hit, there was just far too many misses for me to really bet with him. Anyway, next game. SVNU, we got Ziri versus Wesh Papillon. This one's alright, I guess. This one's a little bit
I
better.
think now you can ask the question.
What? What do you wait, are you saying this will be a curb stomp?
No, I'm just saying it's very clear who wins.
Is this even a question? Yeah, Ziri to win, no doubt.
Yeah, like, do you predict against Ziri in NU? No, that's the answer. You don't.
You don't know. No,
It's
no, not
like predicting against Arsenine in RU.
well for
You
Arsenine.
don't.
At least Arsenine, I could think of a couple players who could realistically beat Arsenine. Ziri, I just cannot. Like Ziri's that hard of an opponent. All right.
Yeah,
Next up is Yes or No My Dude versus Medaya in PU.
I think that's a bit of a sleeper hype match.
That's a
I
dark
don't
horse
really know who
highlight.
wins.
Yeah, that's a dark horse I like. Both players are very even. IMO. What are their records right now? I'm guessing like Medaya is like neutral and Yes or No is negative.
I'm guessing Medaya is probably like 3-2.
Mm, well, Yes or No
Is
might be.
there a record sheet I can look at?
I don't know. I don't know. If they updated that that record sheet, I hope that they do.
Well, I know the results of last week, so I can probably deduce their records based on the sheet, even if it's unupdated. So let's
Both
see.
lost. So add another one to the loss column.
Yes. Yes or no, my dude? Oh, wait. Actually, I think this is updated.
Oh
Yeah,
goody.
this is updated, actually.
Oh goody. What are their records?
Yes or no, my dude is 1-4.
Medaya?
His only win was versus Ryuji. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Oh boy. Medaya. What do you think of Medaya? What's his record?
And Medina is 3-2.
Okay. I think this is a very clear indication on how level these skills are. Although both seem even. Is that weird to say? Like both seem even though the records are one sucks, one is okay.
Yeah, yeah. Also, Madai only played one PU game, and that was one of the games they lost.
And that was Ryuji. Yeah, this was the Ryuji loss. Who do we predict here? I think.
Yeah.
Who am I predicting? Oh.
I was sort of even, maybe leaning yes or no my dude before, but after looking at the records, I feel better in saying Madaya now.
Wow, that I'm actually kind of surprised you were going for yes or no my dude earlier. Like that's a surprise to me because I was going Madaya all the way.
Well, I just figured yes or no my dude's been playing the tier the entire time and actually managed to win against Ryuji. That can't be easy, right?
Oh, both lost to Ryuji. I just noticed. But yeah, yeah.
Wait, what? No. Yes or no my dude beat Ryuji, Madaya lost.
Oh, right. My bad. But yeah, that's a pretty indication. Yeah, I think Madaya. I generally think Madaya wins.
Yeah, I think Madaya now looking at the records.
SVLC. What the f is Vinny the Winnie doing again against drifting?
I take it your predict is for drifting then?
No, I'm predicting Vinny the Winnie. Why not? Give him a win. No, drifting. Yes.
Yeah, you are like Vinny the Winnie's number one hater, so there's no way you're actually predicting for him.
Wow, I'm not saying I hate him. He's just playing mid. It's like Jujutsu Kaisen.
That, that, wow.
Vinny the Winnie, the Jujutsu Kaisen.
You just had to throw that in there. You cannot say mid without also saying Jujutsu Kaisen, huh?
Well, okay, better it than Demon Slayer, I guess. Okay, anime talk aside.
Probably, because Demon Slayer's actually mid.
All right, anime talk out of the way. Let's go drifting. Let's go drifting for drifting.
Gasp! How did you know I was going drifting?
Gee, I wonder. It's like drifting's been doing good rather than Vinny, who's been doing mid. Okay, this video you. SMB versus Keanu VGC, who we've had on as a guest. So, congrats, Keanu.
Oh,
Congratulations in
oh.
defeating in your first BLT. It's a shame you have to fight Sableye My Bay as your first ever opponent.
Anu, I'm so sorry. Even though I've done nothing even though I've done nothing to cause this, I'm so sorry for you.
No, we're both at fault here. We've had Keanu as a guest in the videos, and look what that got him.
Oh, you're right.
He got him as an opponent against SMB.
Oh, you're right. Keanu, we are both very sorry. We've cursed you into having perhaps the hardest first opponent.
We're all rooting for Keanu, but it's SMB. Who can really predict against SMB? Well, actually, multiple people, because SMB actually is one of the worst records in
Yeah, which is actually crazy.
He's like what?
But I guess not every pro adapts to SV super quickly.
I think he's like.
But even so, I think SMB's just it's not even a matter of whether it's SV or not. It's SMB. I think he's just the better player. He has a lot more experience than Keanu, unfortunately.
And yet he's 1-3 right now.
Oh Lord, is he? Let me look at this.
I think it was only a 1 win and 3 straight losses.
SMB's a lax, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 1-3.
No.
Only win was versus Chris Numbers.
he lost to Faye, he lost to Zern, he lost to Akaru. I'm like, come on, SMB, at least pull
I
something off.
mean, those are all really good doubles players, though.
Yeah, these are yeah, those are all they're all great games to watch. It's just SMB had to take the L every single time. So yeah,
But yeah,
he's gonna get the W here, I think.
yeah, I think he'll finally get his second win.
Second win, which is already surprising. Week 6 of all weeks. And finally, we got SV Monotype in Felines versus Maroon.
Okay, hype.
Hype, yes. This should have been a highlight match. Who are you predicting?
Has Maroon actually played much? I don't
Yeah,
remember seeing too many
he
Maroon
lost.
games.
Remember, he lost to Royal Reloading.
Yeah, that was last week, I know, but
He has played a bunch, right?
uh
You check the sheet. You have it.
yeah, he hasn't played every week. He's 1-2.
1-2. Ouch, negative record going into this. Well, Felines.
Lost versus Azik, won versus Lithium, lost versus Royal.
And Felines.
And what's Felines' record? 2-3. Also negative.
One. The ratio isn't valid. So who are you going with? Okay, who are you going with?
I don't know. This feels pretty even to me.
Me too. Wow, I don't know. You go first, because I really don't know.
I think maybe Felines? Because he's
Mm,
pretty hard to prep into.
I'm gonna say Maroon because I feel like he's been overlooked in Monotype because there is Azik. I think Maroon has had a harder ceiling to cross. So yeah, I think I'm going Maroon.
So I'm going Felines because I think Felines is harder to prep into. Plus, he was the only one who beat Azik.
That's enough. That's enough to get your vote. Ah,
Yes, I have a lot of pride in Azik. I think he's got the best record on our team.
yes, I can confirm that he is. Anyway, that's it for BLT Week 6 predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you to Stitch for participating for at least some of these games. I know he's had a crap sleep schedule, but hey, everyone has a crap sleep schedule in Pokemon Showdown. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, including you.
Well, I actually work now, so I'm not online as much on Showdown, so I've been
You
forced to
are
that.
nocturnal.
I am nocturnal. I
You
am.
are literally nocturnal.
Yeah, I am forced into being nocturnal. I don't know. I'm damn. At least I could see the general. At least I can sleep knowing that I live in the same time zone as you, although not technically. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you wouldn't miss any videos when they come out. See you next week for the end of the playoff season as we head into week 7 recap, week 6 recap, and week 7 predictions.
Yep, after that video, it's gonna be playoff videos, which means we'll have less games to predict and soon less games to review. Isn't that fun?
20
Shorter videos.
yeah, from 40 games every week to 20 games every week. You're just getting a treat here, folks. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This has been Micoy, signing out.
Farewell.